we're live. Hey everybody, it is Saturday night. It is Atop the Fourth Wall plays Hitman 2. I am trying something with the audio. I've noticed that I always end up quieter than everyone else, especially, from the farther distance from the microphone. So I have boosted the decibels for the microphone in OBS. We will see, if it's too loud, let me know. I'll turn it back down again. Otherwise, joining me this evening, we've got the return of Zen.
Hey everybody, Sonic is awesome.
We've got Eliza.
I'm here like always.
And we've got Lotus Prince.
Greetings, everyone.
And yeah, so quick updates on everything. I have finished the script for the Hellblazer review. It's for the first Garth Ennis storyline, Dangerous Habits. I'll probably be filming that later tonight after the stream. The History of Power Rangers for Dino Fury. I've got halfway audio edited. So it's making progress. It's slow progress, but at least it's making progress. Danny Fenlon, favorite Power Rangers mentor and least favorite. Favorite is probably RJ or Dr. K if we count her. I don't know if we count Dr. K as a mentor.
I count Dr. K.
Least favorite? Mentor G.
There's a simple explanation for that.
I have the same answer as Lewis. My favorite is Dr. K. My least favorite is Mentor G.
No, at least Gosei gave him stuff.
Yes. G is just an asshole.
G's just an asshole and kind of a moron. Pretty groovy. We will get your super chat in a minute, but otherwise, yeah, we're doing some hitmanning. It turns out we have quite a few missions after the main campaign. Aside from New York, we also have, like, Siberia. There's, Singapore. There's another one that I'm blanking on. There is also the assassination one where you're like a sniper. It's Hitman. It's all assassination. The sniper one, sorry, where you are a sniper on a hill trying to kill 3 people at a wedding. I'm not doing that one. That is not fun to me. Like, the fun of this is infiltrating as a clown and finding some secret way to stab someone. It is not fun to me to just sit there and have to try to figure out the best way to snipe people. That's just not interesting to me. I don't think it's interesting for you guys. I think it's more fun when we can sneak into the secret Eyes Wide Shut sex cult and then set someone on fire, as we did last time.
That was fun.
Fruity Groovy, is that fact that this is in New York because the best pizza debate to resurface? Quite possibly. You're all wrong because pizza in New York is a cracker, pizza in Chicago is a soup, versus just regular-ass normal pizza is the important thing. Hanumaru, I will take
Domino's.
no questions.
It's all about Domino's.
I've been missing out for a bit, so I have to ask, is soup still the new propane? No, it is not. We have run into very few soup cans in this game, but plenty of propane. Professor Harmless, get the 3 issues okay? I do not know. They probably arrived at the P.O. Box. Professor Harmless is one of our, got a Patreon-sponsored video and sent the comics into the P.O. Box. I haven't picked them up yet, but I intend to at some point, so I'm pretty sure they probably arrived safely. ZachFet92, when do you plan to update your upcoming review list on your site? Eventually. I've been trying to get a bunch of other stuff done with, and frankly, with the schedule slippages we've been having, trying to post up a schedule feels like it's just going to cause more problems. Especially because there's one episode we are still holding over from January that's a Patreon-sponsored one because because I want to do storyline with it. T. William C.A., I love your Ace Attorney episode. Are you open to do later chapters in the future? Possibly. Depends on the system. Although, it depends on the game. It depends on the length of the game. And as people pointed out, there's a PC release. I didn't know that. Because I made a
Switch release.
Switch release. Well, the pinned comment I made on the episode kind of explains this. 2 things. One, I walk into these with the assumption that I'm going to be doing it from the original version of it because that's where everything stemmed from, and that's where all the original fandom and enjoyment of it, and it helps us compare to nowadays and how well the original holds up and all that. Second thing is, I didn't know that there were 3 releases.
Oh yeah, the trilogy is on like every platform now.
Yeah, no, I didn't know that because in my mind, because I know it's a Capcom game, but it first came out on Nintendo consoles, so I just kind of always associated it as a Nintendo game, and because I associate it as a Nintendo game, Nintendo games generally do not get released on other consoles and other platforms. So it never dawned on me that, oh, the Ace Attorney games could be put on like PlayStation or PC or mobile. Some people said they first played the game on mobile.
Yeah, it's on mobile. I mean, the thing about that is that like this is getting a little like hair splitty, but like it's not a Nintendo game, it's a Capcom game, so like those can be anywhere.
Exactly. Like I said, just the mental image in my head. And I first played on a Nintendo DS, so I just kind of assumed it was always a DS thing. And sure, a Switch re-release, wouldn't be out of the question, but
It has been released on Switch.
yeah, but like the idea of it being on PC or PlayStation just like did not click in my head because of that.
Sure.
So anyway, let's go to New York. New York, it's a hitman of a town. And
We have
let's
a
see
super
if
chat
we
from
can.
Prince Kiro as well.
What was that?
We have one more super chat before we get it's Prince Kiro.
Prince Kiro, I think you'll cover the boys comic one day. God, I hope not.
I'm with you.
I like the show, but I've heard about the comic and like it feels pretty edgelord.
It is. I talk about this at the beginning of the Hellblazer review. Daniel Brandt, don't know if you read the webcomic Awkward Zombie, but the author made a few PW jokes that are relevant to your reviews. I don't know what PW? Phoenix Wright jokes that are relevant to your review, and for more enticement, the comic also has lots of Pokemon ones. Neat.
Awkward Zombie is a
great. Love the Ace Attorney review. Given how the game get longer for Patreon length, could live streams be possible? Quite possibly, but you basically but like I said, I played this game with a walkthrough for the review just so I could get through it as quickly as possible and not waste time if I screw up. So I don't know how that'll work with future games where I would have to sit through everything. Plus, it's a narrative-driven one, and we found that narrative-driven ones don't work well with our streams when we're constantly talking and everything like that.
Yeah.
Like Hitman is easy. We basically ignore the story and just decide kill people who we don't like.
One thing I will say is I think the Ace Attorney review was probably your best review so far. I literally was rolling laughing because of all the different jokes. It's one of your funniest. But I have many objections to all of your points, and I'll call you out on them.
Of course. But first, the Ingrams, the Carlyles, the Stuyvesants. I don't know who these people are.
People you killed, I think.
Oh yeah, people we killed.
Oh, also we do have one more super chat.
I know. I'll get to that. I'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
Well, we'll play through this real quick just so we have some context what the hell we're doing.
Yes. I'll keep an eye on what super chats pop up.
Objection, Your Honor. I'm mad.
Have the glass onion jokes I thought worked really well. I had so much fun with that review. I really thought it's one of my funniest in a while, in my opinion.
I just love
how
fast
really good.
The whole court system is.
Can I just win now?
Can I win now? No. Okay. And always bring up Professor Bobo as doing his lawyer thing in an episode of MST3K.
I will bring to the stand this little Amish boy.
What I insinuate, sir, is that this man is a fraud and a liar. He has never baked a pie before in his life.
The director of the New York branch is a Providence.
I need a collection of just Mystery Science Theater.
Can we have court outside? Damn it, she's good. I watched the trial after watching your review.
I'm not leaving this courtroom. That's fine. Yannick, we have court outside. Damn it, she's good.
Will still be intact. We've confirmed that the partners have active accounts there.
Partners have accounts there. Accounts in New York, presumably.
Remotely updated on a frequent basis.
The album clearly says intended for fish only. I rest my case.
Hey y'all, Zen here.
Data we need can be obtained in two ways. The bank's data core gives access to the basement vault, but getting inside the vault could be challenging.
Alternatively, Bank Director Athena Savalas, Head of Security Mateo Perez,
And Head of Accounting.
Fabian Mann each carry a partial backup drive.
Oh, they carry.
We got
partial
options
backup.
for this mission. I'm looking forward to this.
Yeah, hack the vault or find all 3 drives from the different people who carry them.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet!
So you lied under oath. As a joke? So you're a murderer, Scott. No.
As a joke!
We extract the hard drive rack and eliminate the
Hey y'all, Zen here. I hate walls. You caught me in a goose.
So I know nothing about this mission. Most of my exposure to Hitman originally was through Team 4 Star's playthroughs, but I don't think they ever played this mission, so I don't know what to expect on this.
Ooh, exciting.
Eliminate Athena Savales. Obtain data. Okay, so we only have technically one target, but we need to get all that data, which might involve killing more people. So, let's start reading off Super Chats while I explore New York, New York!
Yes, SKHS Video Production sees 3D filament post. You may have a problem.
I'll tell you when I got a problem! My problem is I don't have enough 3D printing! The New Yorker, I think that we know who's walking into this this bank. Honk, honk.
Propano.
Honk, honk.
ZachFet92, are we allowed to talk about Spider-Man No Way Home yet?
How many months has it been? Because I feel like it's been 6 months.
When did that come out?
Let me check. That came out. It was 2021, but let's see.
I think, yeah, we're allowed to talk about No Way Home. We are allowed to talk about No Way. It's been over a year.
Yeah, that was December of 2021.
Yeah, I would say 2021. It didn't seem that long ago, but December, okay, makes a little more sense then.
Yeah.
Danny Finland, right, stands no chance against Unfrozen Caveman Lawyer.
Damn it, I couldn't think of a way to incorporate an unfrozen caveman lawyer.
Your society confounds and confuses
me.
Sure, that can be said about anything in Ace Attorney.
I am a little
God,
bit
I love the
upset that
dramatic
you didn't
walk of
use
this cutscene with the Propano outfit.
Open for business.
I am a little bit upset that you didn't use. No, it's just dumb. But then again, you used a bunch of clips already. So.
I didn't have a good. I felt like I didn't have a good opportunity for it. I trust my instincts when it comes to when I use my reference clips.
Hagemaru, for any participant who wishes to answer, if you ever had need for a lawyer, what atop the fourth wall team member would you pick to represent you?
Buffo.
Buffo.
And the top floor of the bank.
Dude's an accountant. That's as close as we'll get to an actual lawyer.
Yeah.
And he knows what he's talking about.
Secure the data from the bank's reinforced vault. Or alternatively,
Corey 2000, not a super chat, but when Lewis starts 3D printing a life-size version of himself, then he has a problem. I'd say I have my own statue. Thank you very much.
Oh, wait a second. Lewis, have you printed out any Bulbasaurs? Because clearly you don't have enough Bulbasaurs.
As a matter of fact, I have printed out several Bulbasaurs, low poly ones. You can't see it because it's blocked by this right here, but right next to the Warp Core lamp is a little 3D printed Bulbasaur piggy bank.
Awesome.
Nice. That's why I had a lot of problems doing. Something weird. I live in America, and it's still weird to see security guards holding assault rifles like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, we don't do that. In Japan, they very much don't do that.
See, let's blend in. Keep reading super chats while I explore the bank.
Charlizard, what's with using more Scott clips lately? It's fun.
It's fun mostly. Just like a lot of clip stuff of is basically just like something like something happens in my head in the comic or whatever, and I see this vision in my head of just like someone else's review or someone else's video or a movie or something like that, making a reference to it, and it's like, you know what, I want to go with that and see and just see what happens.
And Scott has really good cutaways. Like, it's a gourd, bitch.
It's a gourd, bitch.
He does things that, like, you can take it out of context and it'll still be funny, but in context it's even funnier. That's the best type of humor. I've been watching him a lot recently.
What's in the crock pot?
Which is why there'll never be a clip from any of my shows, because I am not funny.
I can pick up the wet floor. Oh man, we can hit someone with the wet floor sign later. By the way,
Jedi.
After we finish a proper playthrough, we're gonna do a rampage where we go They Live on this bank.
Awesome. Jedi Dragon Protector. Next headline in newspaper. Clown enters bank and robs joy from millions.
Alright, lost and found is trespassing.
Danny Finland. Dude! My client's totally rad! He's accused of robbing 5 banks!
Isn't that awesome? I trust this man as my defense attorney. And I almost didn't get in the My Cousin Vinny eclipse, too, which the quintessential lawyer movie.
Do I know he did it? Yes, but do I think he did it? No.
All of
this
Scott's
case is-
standalone videos, I suppose you could call them storyline videos, quote unquote, are just hilarious like that. Just like the trial, the funeral, homecoming.
Pokeplayer HQ. What kind of Pokemon would Propano have?
Fire types, obviously. Plus a Mr. Mime.
I think he'd also have a coughing.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking coughing.
Coughing's just so happy, of
Coughing.
course he would. And he would have, and probably just for as a water type Primarina.
Yeah.
By the way, while I have you here and we're caught up on Super Chats, I just want to say I have a new video out. We have finished the Sonic 2 saga, and YouTube and Twitter are not promoting it. So please check out my Sonic 2 first impressions. We worked really hard on it. So please check it out. Rolling is a myth, spinning is truth, and next we're going to move on to Sonic CDs, so yeah.
And I have the first episode of my new stream tabletop game that runs for 4.5 hours going up online tomorrow.
Okay, so I'm gonna actually activate frosted glass so I could kill someone in here. That's nice.
Nice.
Speaking of glass,
TWCA.
yeah.
Speaking of clips, I was surprised to see one from the Glass Onion. I assumed you liked it.
Oh, loved it. Mission story is revealing. I gotta figure out where.
Sonic the Hedgehog doesn't roll because rolling is a myth. We've established this. He spins.
He's in the bank, known for a fierce skill at digging up dirt or excellent. If he's up something, might be worth following her around. 47. All right, we'll follow this lady. I don't know where she is. Okay, she's over here.
The super spin attack in the manual is very clear about spinning.
For Valentine's Day, Vega showed me. I'm blanking on the name of the movie, but Propet Cinephile. It's an anime movie about filmmaking. It's gorgeous movie. Really well edited, really well animated. Highly recommend it. I'm sure someone, Pophead or something like that, someone in the chat will say it. And I showed her Knives Out.
Awesome.
And she loved it.
You need to show her Glass Onion because,
We will.
in my opinion, it's the better of the two. But like, honestly, I love them both.
I have actually now seen both of them, and they are great.
We seem to
And-
have another super chat
Yes.
from
Jeremy.
Adler.
Yes.
Yes,
You can handle
I
that
have-
one. You can handle that
Okay.
one.
All right. Do you have a favorite lawyer from the Law and Order franchise? I've seen you use clips before.
What's his face? The original. Not Michael
Lenny
Moriarty,
Briscoe.
who was good, but Sam Watterson.
Lenny Briscoe.
Oh, and
Lenny Briscoe's a
Zen, this one sounds
detective.
like it's
Sam
for
Watterson's
you.
character was the DA.
Jack McCoy.
Oh, right.
Jack
I
McCoy,
know.
that's it.
Yeah, Jack McCoy.
I
That's
haven't
what I'm
watched
thinking
proper
of.
Law and Order in forever.
Also,
I
I've seen-
will-
But everyone forgets about Michael Moriarty. I don't know if he ever came back to the show after his season.
I only remember Jack McCoy.
I've never watched the show, unfortunately. But I
Well,
see another
TNT,
one.
we used to
Hanya
joke.
Maro says,
We used to joke on that TNT was the Law and Order channel because they would just constantly replay reruns of it all the time.
Yeah, now they're the
Yeah.
Supernatural channel. They
But just-
only show Supernatural.
So Hanya Maro says, since I have some experience with Shadow the Hedgehog in the past, I have to ask, Zen, is shooting a truth too?
No, Shadow has guns. Unfortunately, it is. Shadow the Hedgehog is basically described as Ow the Edge,
I love
the
that
game.
picture.
Shadow the Hedgehog.
Yeah,
Have
he's
you ever
very
seen that
edgy.
picture, Out the Edge? It's amazing.
Yeah, like it's so good. So yeah, the guns are real, but the thing is, in my headcanon, Shadow is femme. I don't know if you seen the artwork going around of Eggman, which is like Eggman if he was a girl. Well, they
Okay.
did it with Shadow, and it's amazing. So like that's my headcanon. It's just that like this is what happens when Shadow doesn't transition.
There we go.
Then Shadow is best Shadow.
Yeah.
The blue hedgehog again, of all places.
Okay, we'll get pretty groovy and Zach when there's Papa Pot. Here's Zach
Damn, where's that fourth Chaos Emerald?
Zach Bet.
That's
What
so
do you
funny.
what do you think happened to the villains after they got fixed in No Way Home? Did they go back to the moment of their death? Did they move forward?
I think they survived.
Seems to be they move forward, otherwise the whole thing would be entirely pointless.
Yeah, I would like to assume that they get to move forward with their lives and actually get to be the changed people that they are in their own worlds that they go back to.
Oh, here's an interesting question, Professor Harmless. The eternal question: Eggman or Robotnik?
I would
Robotnik.
prefer
You know-
Robotnik just because that's what I grew up with. But I
Yeah, I
get
grew
why
up
people
with
would
Robotnik.
say Eggman.
It did say, like, his Wing Fortress Zone ship does say Eggman 1 on it, and I was always confused by that as a kid. Like, he was Eggman from the beginning,
First.
just not in America.
Yeah,
so I was like, fine.
Like
about
it was more a Japan thing, and it's like
Yeah.
when I first started Bun Plays, I was like, I was all in for Robotnik, but now I'm actually like, I get it because like he's shaped like an egg. All of his robots are egg shaped, and so it makes
They're called
sense. So
egg whatever, like egg carrier, like in Adventure.
egg poison, egg scorcher, like so.
Only take a minute, okay?
I prefer the name Robotnik, but I've been interchanging them because, you know,
Same,
after a while,
same.
they eventually do bring it to Eggman
They
in
frisk
the
that
US.
guy!
But like for
Yes.
Mateo
for the Genesis stuff, I tend to refer to him as Robotnik.
Yeah,
This
Dr.
asshole is
Oval.
one of the things we need, and they didn't get frisked. That's bullcrap. Because I had to
that's
get
weak.
frisked. I got rid of the silver baller. Bah.
Also, we have one from Pretty Groovy. Only disappointment is no clips from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, since they have 3 trial legal episodes.
I've
We
only
could have
seen-
had Bird Law.
As it happens, I actually do have had seen one episode of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and it was one of the trial ones where it was like the like one bumped into the other car, and there was and like he was eating cereal while he was driving.
What about Harvey Birdman, attorney at law?
The final
Or
applicant was lost in
Bird Girl.
where he's
That's an actual show now, too.
I think. Oh, yeah, I remember
There's so
seeing-
many law shows out
Guide
there.
yourself as a job applicant. Okay, I'm trying a different mission story because I don't know how easily it'll be to get in. But one person's in the bathroom, so apparently they're nervous, and we have to do it. We have to. You know what, guys? This hitmanning thing is just not working as a career. I think it is time we swapped it out for something a little more, professional and solid. I think that we have a real career here as in a bank.
bathroom bullying.
Also, the funny thing is they actually did bring the Robotnik and Eggman thing together in Sonic Adventure 1.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Uncle
like
Robotnik.
they basically wanted to like move it more towards the Eggman stuff, and I like that the movies had a nod to it. But
I think
right
we
now,
have this laundry thing right here in the bathroom.
Yep, right in the laundry chute. Bye
fine.
bye,
Anything else
banker.
in here I can
Drop
ooh, yes. Lead pipe.
So
Just rip it
the
out of the
next the next game that we're going to be doing on Bun Plays is Sonic CD, and I've done extensive research on the CD peripheral, the Sega CD, and a whole bunch of other like related stuff for that. I
Fortunately,
have
that
not
game's been ported
played.
100 times.
Yeah, fortunately, it has been ported. I have not actually played this game before. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go into it blind, and then afterwards, before the first impressions, I'm going to get the Gems collection and play the original version, and then play the updated digital one, just to see like if anything was changed. But like, I have no
You can support
experience
the
with
soundtracks
CD.
for the digital one.
I feel like a new man. I'm ready for my
I could.
interview.
where this will lead you to.
And both
That
sides-
was a quick mission story.
There's a lot of really interesting history that I found out from the Sega CD and how it led to other things and whatnot. So I don't want to give too much away, but like I have like an entire couple pages that are recorded about the Sega CD and the CDI and some other stuff that later happened.
This new media format.
Unfortunately,
so
due
that was fun.
Unfortunately, doing a lot of that Sega stuff in the mid-90s, my favorite Sonic game has never really been ported.
The fighter.
As
All
for
right,
the
guys,
soundtrack,
got important stuff going
I'm not
on here
sure
in
which
Hitman.
I'm gonna play.
We gotta check out our Rorschach test here.
Oh, wow.
Oh god, that's an eagle.
Let's see a Hitman.
Can you get a link? Okay, hold on. Let me get the link to it. Let's see if this is the right
Also,
thing.
someone asked if you're using the US or Japanese soundtrack. Clearly US for the original game because that's all you got. But digital, sky's the limit.
Yeah, what I'm doing is I'm gonna listen to Sonic Boom from the Japanese first, but then for the Let's Play, I'm going to actually do the US version, and then when I play through it again, just so I can get the authentic experience for the digital one, I'll get the Japanese soundtrack there, just so I can comment on it. But like, a lot of this is mostly just me getting into a series, because I used to be a casual Sonic fan. After Sonic 2, I'm a big Sonic fan, so it's just kind of like, you know.
Hanyamaru, I know some from Marvel, but I can't think of any DC lawyers. Do you know of any? Harvey Dent?
Also, for the people asking for the link, there you go. Please check it out.
The only DC lawyer I can think of off the top of my head is Harvey Dent.
Look, guys, the Rorschach tests are the posters on the wall.
Oh, that's
Yeah, you're
great.
right.
That's brilliant.
Which Crush 40 song is better, Open Your Heart or Live and You Learn? I have, actually, City Escape is my favorite, personally. It's weird, but that's currently my favorite.
You know what's on me is like Knuckles' theme in Sonic Adventure 2. It's weirdly amazing.
I think my favorite song from any of the Sonic games comes from Sonic Colors. Reach for the Stars is amazing.
Oh, by the way, you were saying your favorite Sonic game hasn't been ported from the 90s. Which one? I guessed The Fighters, but which one?
Knuckles and the Chaotix!
Oh, yeah,
Knuckles
that's actually never
Chaotix
been ported.
is her favorite, and that's never been ported. What I would like to do is, like, when I get to stuff like the Gems Collection has the Fighters, but I also want to try the digital version, because a lot of them have been remade, but like,
yeah, I got the
Sonic
Fighters
3
on
and
PS3
Knuckles
where you play Big Man.
Chaotix have not been really remade all that much, and Sonic 3, I know it's a legal thing. But with Knuckles Chaotix, I think it's just because the 32X was such a colossal failure. Again, I get into this in the Button Plays primer, but like 32X was even more of a failure than the Sega CD, and that's saying a lot.
It didn't help that some of the Sega 32X games, you actually need to have both the Sega and the Sega CD in order to have the 32X game work.
CD. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing that I was talking to people about before the stream is like, first of all, thank you for subscribing to the Bun Squad, Bumblebee. I hope you enjoy, spread the video around. YouTube, for whatever reason, isn't. But I was asking people on Twitter today, I'm like, has Metroid ever been, like, put in a collection? And the closest we got is the Metroid Prime Trilogy collection, which I have, but I'm like, I want to play through Metroid, but how do I do this?
Yeah.
Hey, Namaro, was that really necessary? They hadn't even rejected your application yet. True, but it turns out I can only select one of those per round of questions. I don't think I was going to get hired, because clearly I was not selecting the correct ones in the correct order. Because each of those posters said, like, opportunity, was the eagle, and execution was the targets. It's like, oh, I kind of screwed that up. So I don't think I was going to get hired. So I feel like that I made the correct choice here.
You're a go-getter. You're proactive.
Exactly.
That's employee material, if you ask me.
The funny thing is, the very first time I got my own Sega, because for the longest time I just played Sega over at my uncle's house. My family was a Nintendo family, but I still loved Sega more than Nintendo. So I got my first Sega when my dad was working. Well, my stepdad was working as a he would buy stuff from like lot sales, and then he'd sell them at auctions and swap meets.
Come on down.
Every Metroid game can be played if you own a Wii, 3DS, and Switch. I do own those, but the thing is, I would like to be able to have them all on one piece of hardware, because like I own them, but it's hard. It's hard for me to get anything on the 3DS, and you know the other two consoles I can definitely do for Bond plays, but like 3DS is going to be hard. Unless I emulate, and I don't like emulating.
Yeah, 3DS is notoriously difficult. I mean, because like DS and 3DS.
How do you guys see me?
So my first Sega Genesis literally had the 32X and the CD with it, and I forgot what my uncle's Sega had looked like by that point. So I just thought that's what Segas looked like for a while.
Yeah, I saw a picture.
I was trying to be a nice
Segas.
person. I was only knocking people out, but you guys made this personal.
I saw pictures of the Genesis with the 32X and the CD, and I'm just like, this looks awful.
Well, no,
awful.
you know what was awful was plugging them in. Sega actually sold like a power strip specifically so you could do that.
Yep, I had that with mine. Also, Renfield, Charles Oftenson is the better lawyer than over Harvey Birdman, of course.
Completely over-the-top reaction to someone who just walked up the stairs and knocked someone out. Just like immediately tried to murder them. Just ridiculous.
Breaks out again.
Ridiculous.
But yeah,
another games franchise that I want ported is Donkey Kong Country, like specifically the Country series, because like
yes,
they have not been re-released as far as I am aware. I know Tropical Freeze and like the later games have, but not like Country 1 through
those
3.
are retroware games and not rare games.
You can actually play all the Country games on the Switch now.
Oh, you can? Okay.
Yeah,
those games are excellent.
I think they also have Donkey Kong 64 coming soon.
Utterly ridiculous as behavior.
Well, I have a Switch, and I will be able to do that there. It's just, I prefer physical, if only because they have a history of shutting down their online stores, and I never bought stuff on the Wii or the Wii U, so...
Same. Oh, Jacob Leonard says, have anyone played Sonic Frontiers?
Not yet.
Yep, not yet.
I haven't played Sonic Frontiers. Please, no spoilers for me. Again,
Same.
1 and 2 are the latest Sonic games I've played, and so far 2 is my favorite.
Yeah, 2
I have been playing Kingdom Hearts on my streams.
I've been playing System Shock 1 on my streams.
Completely unprofessional behavior from these people. It's just utterly ridiculous.
I want to play Kingdom Hearts 3, but I haven't played any of the Kingdom Hearts games in such a long time that I want to do a bit of a refresher.
Yeah, and the good thing with Kingdom Hearts is that all of the games are now finally on one console, which is good.
I can't even believe that.
Also, we have one from ZachFit92. Thoughts on whatever happened to the Man of Tomorrow?
It's a good story. Wow. Although Alan Moore's hatred of superheroes continues.
Yeah. I am forever frustrated by Alan Moore.
Absolutely clownish behavior for people, and this is speaking from the guy who's an actual clown.
Hey, you're about to fight Lady Maria in the Astral Clock Tower? Look at this freaking room.
Who is Caden Jensen? I don't really know them. I know, like, some Call Me Johnny and Scott the Woz are doing Sonic stuff, but I don't know, like, some of the others at the moment. But then again, the only Let's Players I know are Chugga and Proton John, but that's because I met them in person, so it's like I don't really know a lot of Let's Players.
Absolute clown behavior. Lotus Prince, you wouldn't happen to know any Let's Players, would you?
I gotta think about it, man. It's tough.
I only know a few Let's Players. One of them is in this call right now.
Yeah, whoops.
Well, Lotus Prince only does PS2 and
and
Resident Evil. That's all. I'm just kidding.
Sir, are you going somewhere? You're my target.
Comparison video and nothing else.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm currently releasing The Quarry, and after that, I'm gonna do a one-off Patreon request, and then I'm finally gonna start uploading Elden Ring, which I get the plat on. So hype.
Get back here! Get back here!
Everybody, you ain't clowning around no more.
On the plus side, I have actually reached the point where I just need like 8 more followers on Twitch to have Twitch affiliate status.
Good stuff.
Oh dear,
by the way,
what could have possibly happened to him?
By the way, I see an amusing comment in chat regarding, like, I wonder if GBA Online will add some of the DKC ports, because the third game has an entire new world. You know, not only that, but if you've ever played all 3 Donkey Kong Country games, you may notice that Donkey Kong Country 3 does not have a soundtrack by David Wise, even though the soundtrack is still really damn good. But Donkey Kong, whatever the Game Boy version, Land 3, which is basically a DKC3 port, that version does have a David Wise soundtrack. So that game has 2 different soundtracks.
Interesting. That also a Dead Fish. That is interesting. I may have to check out Caden Jensen's stuff. Another person who I just remembered. I would love to collab with Nezumi VA. Nezumi does Danganronpa stuff. We've actually talked a bit, and she does a bunch of Sonic stuff. So like eventually when I got into Sonic more, I would love to do something with Nezumi because she's awesome.
Completely unprofessional. Wouldn't you agree?
If you ever want me on when you You ever want me on if you do something like go with Knuckles Chaotix? Let me know.
I don't know what this Knuckles Chaotix is. I think it's a myth.
By the way, regarding Danganronpa, like going way back to when we were talking about Phoenix Wright, somebody in the chat did say like regarding, oh, it was a Nintendo console first. Yeah, Phoenix Wright was originally on Game Boy Advance, although America didn't get that. So what we first got was a re-release.
It was like what happened with Danganronpa, where like it had a Game Boy game.
It was a PSP game that we never got, and then it was a Vita game when we did get it.
Yeah, it's Japanese localization is a lot, and I got involved in a lot of that in my Danganronpa 1 video, which is 2.5 hours, so I don't want to say too much more to that.
Ow!
Well, I don't know if you mentioned this, but the only thing I was going to say is that a lot of Danganronpa's lines, like, there is very little of actually reading full-on dialogue in that game. Usually it's just, like, a single line when you're talking to somebody, like in Skies of Arcadia, and that's probably because of PSP limitations.
Yeah, and Vita, like, brought it up, and you can still see the PSP quality, but it still looks great for what it is.
Yeah, and on PS TV, like it looks like it fits on your TV.
It looks very crisp.
It's
2
not
looks
like
a lot better, but even 1, I wouldn't be able to tell unless I knew immediately, you know?
Yeah.
It looks like an early Vita game.
Well, that's the thing. Like, I played Danganronpa before it was ported to everything, so I blew up the Vita game on the PS TV, and like I was surprised by how gorgeous it looked.
ZachFit92, Zen, do your videos have a storyline, or can they be watched in any order?
Well, there are 2 answers to this. The stuff with Bun Plays, the Ghost Bunny universe, can be watched pretty much in any order, but there are Let's Play series for the most part. So we have a, if you look for the playlist, VTuber Chronicles, that's all the Ghost Bunny stuff. My main videos do, but like the through line for the story is only in some episodes. So if you wanted, you could watch a lot of stuff out of order, but I do have a playlist for every mainline video as well. I only have like about 36 episodes at the moment of that, and I have about 15 episodes of the Ghost Bunny stuff. So if you're interested, now's the time to get in, because I'm working on some more big videos at the moment.
It's a complete clown show around here. It's utterly ridiculous how this bank operates.
Also, now would be a good time to start watching the Ghost Bunny stuff, since I only have 2 episodes of Midnight Combo Pack right now, and we also just got through Sonic 1 and 2 as our first part of the Let's Plays. So, yeah. The Disney videos, that's a podcast. You can watch those in any order. There are some jokes that come and go, but like for the most part, I would just watch one of the later episodes, see if you like it.
Okay, I think this is the bank vault, so I think we can go in here and get the data, and 100% successful mission.
Anyway, that battery just homed in on that guy. Car battery!
Exactly. Yeah, did you not hear me yell out car battery?
That's a definitely interesting way to commit assault and battery.
You guys suck at this game. I mean, look at this.
Come and make sure you debug. Oh god, what game is that? Just you lose, whatever it is.
You are.
I'll tell you what it is, a bad game, because it's not Hitman.
You are dead.
Thought you were hot. Guess what? You're not.
Ooh, a cheeseburger.
Quick, what game is that?
That I forget it. Paul did a thing and I forget.
Total Distortion.
Total Distortion, yeah. All right, guys, we are now armed with burgers.
Yay, burgers! Burgers can kill you very
Hit
easily.
him with them?
So you're gonna kill it with high cholesterol.
Exactly.
I don't know if I'm even capable of playing it on my computer, but I actually did get a boxed copy of Total Distortion.
I have like a list of games that I want to play so far on Bun Plays. Obviously, I haven't been doing it as long as Lotus, but I do have to thank Lotus because he helped me when I was first starting out and like figuring out the tech that I needed. And you know, obviously,
that's what it's all about. I was helping when I first started out. Like it's a whole chain. But
it's a chain, and it's like it took me a bit to actually find my voice and then like get an editor and like, you know, figure it out to where I could actually put it out. But now that I'm doing like the Sonic stuff, I'm like, yeah, this is good.
Yeah, you
Burger!
start by probably thinking, like, what do
Yep.
people do that I like, and then you really become your own thing.
And it's like, for me, I didn't even like plan Sonic. I'm just like, I wanted to get into a franchise that I haven't been into, and it's like, well, Sonic Origins just came out. Why not?
There you go. Oh, Hanyamaro.
Hey man, I'm
says,
just here
Linkara,
juicing
do
my
you
tea
have-
work. Hanyamaro, Linkara, do you have any idea of how this price is going to be? They have to hire new people, do tons of publicity to rebuild investor confidence. Why do you never stop to consider the price of your foolish massacres?
Would you be the villain after
Look, man,
all? Are you the
I
baddie?
got IT work to do here. I'm trying to just make a living here, and then these people just like keep interrupting the servers, keep creating problems.
Are you wearing a Space Invader shirt?
Yeah, we're
Hack the
Space
planet.
Invaders.
Hack the planet.
Hack the planet!
Excellent. You
I still need
need
to watch
a
that
handle. You're nothing without a handle, bro.
I still need to watch that movie someday.
I've only seen
We
clips.
saw a double feature of wizards and hackers, and it was amazing.
God.
And I can't wait to play like Mario 3 because like the wizard was like a perfect like introduction to that. And I just want to gush about the wizard because it's a bad movie, but I love it.
Oh, it is a bad movie, but it's one of those like delightfully cheesy bad movies.
It's one of those that like I just enjoy it for what it is, and it's just like if I ever get to the Mario series. Because at least Mario has a collection on modern consoles that I can use.
Mario had a
Multiple
collection
of them,
freaking,
actually.
Like Super Nintendo back in the day.
Yeah,
Mario-
it's just like...
Hanyamaro, quick, turn off the moon.
Mario's actually released multiple collections.
Oh,
I
there's
think the
loads,
Wii
yeah.
one is the one with the most stuff in it, which is what I want to like actually do. But like, that's the good thing is like, hey, Mario's on most devices. But then I'm like, okay, well I want to play Metroid. I can't do that. Mega Man has a collection everywhere.
Yeah, Metroid is the Nintendo franchise that gets, well, the Metroid franchise that still gets games that gets the least love.
Yeah, I was gonna say like F-Zero is the one that does not get games that gets the least love.
Yeah.
Metroid, okay, F-Zero doesn't even get games anymore. More people know Captain Falcon from Smash
So
Brothers.
Metroid
F-Zero.
Dread doesn't exist. Metroid Prime 4.
Metroid Prime 4 doesn't exist, man. That's not happening. I
Uh,
mean, it might, but like Metroid Prime 4.
Shenmue
like,
3
forever.
came out. If Duke Nukem Forever can come out, then I'll believe it.
Did you ever play No More Heroes 1, by the way?
I did play it as a kid. Like I owned the Wii at launch, so I got No More Heroes and Real Steel, which
there
Real
that-
Steel's bad, but it was so much fun.
Red Steel.
Red Steel, yeah.
There's that brilliant line toward the end of the game where somebody was talking about their traumatic past. That's like, it's so messed up to hear, I couldn't possibly put it in the game, and if I did, it might mess with the rating, and the game would take even longer to come out, and we don't want this to be No More Heroes forever. Like, I was like crying when I played that back in college. That was brilliant.
It's a lot of fun, and it like I definitely should do a No More Heroes thing. I kind of want to do some early classics though, because like Zelda, I feel like I can do pretty easily. Although the thing that people are voting on for right now with the latest video is for after Sonic, the franchise that people want me to vote on are, you could vote on Kirby for the classic games, or you can vote on Castlevania and make
Hey,
me
now.
suffer.
Well, Castlevania, they released a
Exfiltrate the
collection, so
bank.
you could grab that.
Who talks like that?
Peter!
Exfiltrate.
I am one of those weird people that finds
See,
Castlevania...
that isn't a word. It sounds like a word.
Sounds like a word.
Get it? It sounds pretentious.
I am that weird kind of person that
You
finds
key.
Castlevania easier than Kirby.
But yeah, so like
Kirby I've ever played.
you can either vote Kirby, Castlevania, or both interchangeably. There is a straw poll going on. It should be in the description of that video. If it is not, either contact me or give it a day. We put out the episode late last night, so we haven't had time to really update it. But there is a straw poll going on. A lot of people want me to interchange Castlevania and Kirby. But the thing is, like, I'm having trouble with the Death Egg Robot already. Like, it took me 2 hours for the Death Egg Robot, and I think my death count was 138 by the end of that bun play. I
think
cannot
so.
imagine Castlevania 2 or 3.
Castlevania 2 is a nightmare. By the way, you want to hear something really stupid? The only Castlevania games I've ever beaten were 64 and the rail shooter light gun style arcade game. That's Japanese
Oh,
only, but it's
God.
available at round 1.
I've technically only played the original Castlevania, and it was the first MagFest. I went down and I played like just a minute of it on the arcade cabinet. It was MagFest 9, and it was back when we had elevator parties, and I played it. That I've only played 10 seconds of it, but I liked it. But still, it's apparently going to be very hard.
Yeah,
you want to play something terrifying. If you want to play something terrifying, play Haunted Castle. It's like arcade Castlevania. It's like Castlevania.
100% success. No one saw me.
I also hear Super Ghouls and Ghosts is really hard. So it's like, I'm gonna work up to that, guys. I want you to give me like easier stuff.
Which one's really hard?
Quick, turn off the mood.
Ghosts and Goblins.
Jacob Lerma.
Ghosts and Goblins
in Japanese version Digimon O2, Davis is less of a jerk. His jerkiness mostly comes from the dub. Indeed.
I beat Ghouls and Ghosts, the Genesis game.
I have beaten every single Castlevania game I've ever played. I have never beaten a Kirby game.
I've beaten.
I figure like Kirby is gonna be easier because he's a pink puff. How hard could it be? I played one of the games. I think it was Kirby's Dream Land on the NES.
The first one I played was the Game Boy Kirby game, and I could not beat it.
Mission stories.
Your Kirby doesn't mess around, especially if you're going for 100%.
Heist, the Expos.
Oh god. Well, we'll have to figure that out.
I also
I am gonna get the Castlevania collection to make it a little bit easier for me, but I'm gonna play the original first just to get an idea, get a feel.
Regarding the Castlevania collections, like somebody mentioned, you could play the Japanese versions, but let me tell you, play NES Castlevania 3, like play like the first level, and listen to the music carefully, and then play the Japanese version of that soundtrack for Castlevania 3 specifically. It'll blow you out of the water. It's amazing.
And that's the thing,
Stealthiest
like, part of me is like...
Right here. By the way, I'm doing all these impressive Hitman things. You guys are talking about Metroid.
Yeah.
Castlevania.
I mean,
I'm getting very impressive sneaking into this place without attracting
that was very impressive. That was the stealthiest mission ever.
I mean, you're not a great banker, not gonna lie.
You know what? You're right. I should go back and see what I could do to be a better banker, because I feel like there's like I can do so much better.
I'm with Hanamara on this one.
Yeah.
So many dead people, so much lost profits, so many executives are going to get yelled at, all because of you. How do you sleep at night?
I think part of it is like what I've been doing in Bun Plays, because certain games change over time. I do like the game as normal, and I've been doing like an extras where I touch upon stuff like Sonic 1 and 2, getting all the Chaos Emerald, Supersonic, stuff like that. With Castlevania, they're like two different games, so I'm not entirely sure if I'm going to do like maybe just one playthrough of the regular, one play of the other. I'll have to figure it out.
For which game in particular?
Like Castlevania, because like they have differences in like Haunted Castle, or like, you know...
Haunted Castle is a quarter muncher and a half. That game is like literally unfair.
And that's the thing, like when you have stuff that like Castlevania has the Dracula X Chronicles, or like one where like it's a different in the Japanese version versus the US version, I may just have to do a separate Let's Play for it. I don't know.
Yeah, that was like a sort of like compromise for our not getting Rondo of Blood, even though we finally did.
And
so it's
Zach
like
92 has a super chat really quickly. Any word on those horror game demos you played?
Not that I'm aware of. I mean, I want to say one or two of them have come out, but I could not say for absolute certain. I'd have to check in on them again, but that would be fun too, because like that one pixel art game, that was really good. I wouldn't mind doing that again. All right, let's do the interview properly, I think.
But yeah, I'm currently discussing mostly with the people who edit my Let's Plays how things are going to go. Because obviously for like Sonic 1 and 2, if you played the game once, the second time with Supersonic isn't going to be necessarily needed, but I put all that footage in the first impression, so it's all there.
Yeah.
I think when it comes to like...
you do want all the emeralds in Sonic 3 for sure.
Yep.
Okay. I did get it into CD. I know it's going to be very different.
That is very different, yeah.
CD 0 out of 10, no Knuckles. There is no Knuckles. Knuckles is my boy.
Sonic CD, I believe, has 2 ways to get the good ending. So you don't necessarily need all the emeralds, but like there's some futzing around with that.
We're gonna do 2 different things because the thing is, we're gonna start by doing the special stages first for Sonic CD.
Okay.
Because like there's 3 different things, and then I think the robot generators are gonna be the second time around, and then the time stones is gonna be the last thing. Because all 3 of those are different, and I'm just like, I'm a little bit overwhelmed by the thought of it. But we're gonna go through.
On him. That's what I was supposed to do instead of just unlocking it.
You have a freaking peephole above your. Oh, the pipe you ripped out of the wall. That's why. That's clever.
Yeah. So yeah, what apparently what I was supposed to do is come in here, rip off the pipe, and then peep on him and wait for him to come out, as opposed to
just use the pipe.
Just going in there and knocking him out.
Wow, I didn't. That's clever. That's clever.
Yeah, but this is why I always bring the lockpick. You know, it just kind of saves time.
By the way, Zen, if you're fastidious about going for different versions of games, like, are you gonna go that hard for Sonic 3D Blast?
It really depends. When it comes to Sonic 3D Blast, I'm going to be playing the one of the collection. I think it's the Gems collection first,
That's
and
probably
then
the Genesis version then.
And then I'm gonna play the Origins version for the Bun plays.
I suspect it's also the Genesis version.
We'll see how it goes. The thing is, like, what I like to do, aside from CD, because CD I'm going in blind, I like to have, like, just a short feel of how the game was originally. Because when we get to Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles, I will play each of those individually to get a feel for how different they are compared to 3 Knuckles, which is what I'm actually bun playing.
Yes. Oh, by the way, I do see a couple comments in chat. In Sonic CD, they're not emeralds, they're time stones. You are correct that they're emeralds, whatever.
Yeah, they're the time stones, but like there's the time stones, the robot generators, and then there's the special stages, and you can get good endings and bad endings, and there's a lot.
And speaking of special stages, by the way, the reason I brought this up is that Sonic 3D Blast on the Genesis, the PC, and the Saturn all have different special stages.
Oh, 3D Blast is on the regular, with the Mega Collection, not the Gems Collection. I'm gonna have to get both of them anyway, so...
Yeah, the Gems has the cool esoteric stuff, and 3D Blast was, like, just common enough that, like, I guess it's none of the Gems.
I also have the Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection, but
Yes,
as we have found out,
it does not have Rear Knuckles.
It is an amazing collection, don't get me wrong, but it's not very good at teaching you controls.
No, and it does not have
Because,
3 Knuckles, although it was supposed to, I think.
Yeah, it doesn't have 3 Knuckles either, but like the thing I put this up in the first impressions, I got the wrong impression of Sonic 1 and Sonic 2 because the picture that they show for the controls is just jump and move. They don't list the roll. They don't.
Exactly.
I'm not sure what you're seeing, 47.
It's very graphic, Mr. Thomas.
Oh, we have a super chat from ZachFet92. We know you're really into horror, but out of curiosity, what scares you?
Tiny little things moving very quickly and jumping at me. You guys will recall that as a thing with any kind of first-person shooter game. I hate tiny things jumping at the screen.
Yeah, the Slimers in Duke 3D, those scared the daylights out of me back in the day.
I think the thing that scared me the most was something that scared me in my childhood, and that was the movie E.T.
But yeah, like I eventually am gonna put like the entirety of Sonic's Ultimate Genesis Collection. I have it scheduled for I think episode 10 of MCP to just like do a quick look at each game. And I like Sonic Ultimate Genesis Collection for a lot of reasons. It's just these games are emulated, you save scum, and they do not list all the controls you can do on like the spin attack, the dash attack, like they don't.
Yeah. Oh, you know what I will give it though? It has all 4 Phantasy Star games. It has Streets of Rage 3, and it has Golden Axe Warrior, which are damn expensive if you want to get the actual copies.
It has Altered Beast, and that was fun to play again.
It has both Altered Beast, arcade and Genesis.
It has so much variety in its games, and like the stuff in Ultimate Genesis Collection, I'm still really glad I got it, and I'm gonna complete it. It has like Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine.
Yes.
I'm a little bit upset that they're emulated versions rather than like you know what Origins did, and I am a little bit upset that they didn't actually give you good control maps, but there's so much extras and there's so much good stuff in it that I can't like fault it.
By the way, Hanyomaro says, "Man, security in this place is way too incompetent to be real." Ding, sin count 34.
Nope. We gotta do cinema wins. Cinema wins
Yes.
instead.
Cinnamon Wins is better.
Guys, I just got a new job!
Yay!
Congratulations, you're a real go-getter. I think you're gonna go high on the corporate ladder.
We have hired you. Now we need you to play this Genesis game.
Well, aren't you an eager beaver? Are you freaking serious?
Welcome on board, Mr. Thomas.
What are you, like
Yep.
a third grade
Guys,
beaver?
we've done it. We've realized now that my true future is not as an assassin, but in banking.
All you need is take that corporate ladder and push it so that way everybody that's on it falls down and dies.
Well, why would I
says
do
hi,
that?
by the
I have
way.
such great career opportunities now. I'm a real go-getter here.
Kana says hi. She says that rolling is a myth.
Spinning
Alright,
is truth.
Like
Let's,
the
see
thing
if we
with
can
Sonic the
track any
Hedgehog
other
1 is
stories.
with Sonic 1, there is no spin dash control. You just kind of press down.
Go back
Well,
to your
Yeah,
expose,
yeah.
see
Like
what we can
you
find
press
there.
down. You press down to use the super spin attack, as it says in the manual, because rolling is a myth. But they don't tell you that in the control scheme, and I was confused because
Yeah, and they don't
I hadn't
tell you
played
how
it
to-
before.
They don't tell you how to recover from throws in Streets of Rage. Like, I can't believe they don't include the manuals. By the way, I do see an amusing thing in chat, because, yeah, some of the Ultimate Genesis Collection games are unlockable, and someone says, yeah, unfortunately, the original Phantasy Star, like Phantasy Star 1, is annoying to unlock, because you gotta beat the first boss in Sonic 2 with 2 players.
Really?
It's annoying because you need 2 controllers, but otherwise,
Yeah,
it's, like,
you
totally free.
you
Like,
can
you
use
cannot
2
screw up anything
controllers.
there.
Yeah.
Like it's not like the digital version of Sonic 2 where you have to play online multiplayer, which was bullcrap. Like, don't get me wrong, I think the idea of online multiplayer is fine, but like having a trophy be online multiplayer when one day the servers are going to go down is just
I can't
bullcrap.
stand that. I'm never gonna platinum Armored Core 4 and 5.
Jacob Lerma, speaking of Alan Moore, I am more annoyed by some of his fans saying every superhero story needs to be Watchmen. Yeah.
Indeed.
Yeah, that
We
is
already
annoying.
had that. It's called Watchmen.
And to be honest, even Watchmen wasn't the first story to do that. It was called Squadron Supreme.
Fair enough.
Locate the
Oh,
deposit
and
box key.
Hanimaro has a really reflective question for Lewis. Does this mean you're going to turn your back on clowning now? How disappointing.
I can have multiple careers, and sometimes it's even necessary to do that in this day and age, because,
It's called multitasking in this gig economy.
I can clown if I want to.
and I have to go find this lady's desk so I can steal a key.
It's like I like collections. I have several like really good collections, and I like seeing extras and stuff. But it just really rubs me the wrong way when I haven't played a game before.
It is shocking
it's-
they don't have
and it's-
manuals.
And they don't have manuals. Like if they didn't
most
have a
obvious
manual,
thing.
it's the most essential piece of the puzzle, because how am I supposed to know that rolling exists? Huh?
Hey guys, working hard or hardly working, am I right?
Oof. There's a motivational thing you can do in Hades when you're talking to a bunch of shades in like Hell's corporate room, where you're like, some mortals don't believe in ghosts, but I believe in you, and they all just like roll their eyes. It's great.
Someone just mentioned Barbie doing multiple jobs, and I'm thinking about the Barbie movie coming out later this year.
I wonder if that'll be good. Like, there's a chance.
I'm hoping it is going to be good, because that would be so interesting if there's a good Barbie movie.
It's gonna be just like super time skips of her getting like every job in the world, like Homer Simpson.
I cannot wait.
Also, I do need to play Phantasy Star. That's one of the games that I was like looking at. So
so do
far,
I.
the only ones that I played on the collection, I played Altered Beast and I loved it. Comic Zone was weird.
That game is
Decap Attack
Yeah.
was different.
That's old
And then I
school
played a lot
treasure.
of Sonic stuff.
Man,
So
I
it's
cannot
like,
wait to
there's
work my new
been-
job. I think it's gonna be. I think I got a bright future here.
What in the
There are some interesting
Bank.
choices there. Like Decap Attack, for those who don't know, is a game where you play this, like, I think it's a zombie, and you throw your head at people to
It's an
to
old
kill
school
enemies.
treasure game. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like you play a little bit of it, and Comic Zone is basically like the first like
This is the vault.
Wasn't it that guy the Sonic developer went on to make or something like that?
That I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not.
By the
I'm
way,
not
someone
sure.
made a good point in chat. Even though I'm probably going to play Phantasy Star via the Ultimate Genesis Collection because that's what I have, the Switch version is probably the way to play because they give you an on-screen map. Because like
Does-
old school Phantasy
yeah.
Star, you better break out like some graph paper.
Or
Does the
something.
Does the Ultimate Genesis Collection have Shining Force on it?
No, I don't. Well, I don't know. I
It
don't
might
know.
be. It might be in the PS4 collection because there was also a PS4 collection that I don't have that had a bunch of Genesis games.
The
I
Shining
did
Force
this-
games are some of my favorite Sega games.
I did get the Genesis Mini 2, and it has Shining Force
There's a similar security
2
code
and
set to the
CD. It weirdly doesn't have Shining Force 1.
If I
I
ever
got
end
this-
up doing an AVGN crossover, I think Comic Zone would be the one I would end up doing, just because it's like it's a great looking game, great stylistic game, but man,
It's just
it is not a
weird.
good game itself because of the difficulty curve.
It's not a good game, and it's like you have very little time to react to things.
By the way, Shining Force is on Ultimate Genesis Collection. Shining in the Darkness, Shining Force 1 and 2. Like, what a deal. That's great.
I have
Yeah,
this,
Ultimate Genesis Collection has so many games that
many
it's legit,
expensive
and then there's so many that you can just unlock too by
Yes.
playing through parts of the games, and so much extras that like. Don't get me wrong, I have issues, but Ultimate Genesis Collection is probably one of the definitive Genesis collections.
I
really,
have this.
really good. Except for
It's,
Sonic and Knuckles.
I have this really good
For Stan
Genesis
Trio.
reproduction console that comes with 81 Sega games on the console itself.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, it has like, I think one of the big things it pushed was like Chakan the Forever Man.
It has all 3 Mortal Kombat games, with where you don't have to put the codes, and the codes are already input. You don't have to worry about putting them in.
There you go. Oh, by the way,
The funny thing was, I was watching Scott the Waz game compilation videos like earlier today, and he really loves Ultimate Genesis too, but he didn't bring up some of the problems. But then, like, that was one of his like 4 years older video. But then, like, his newer one is actually more in depth. I like what he did with a lot of like the Namco and Atari collections because I haven't played any of those.
Hanemaru, on the subject of Alan Moore, what do you think is his objectively best and worst works?
I've only read so many of his works, and honestly, objectively is the wrong word to be using, so I'm not even going to try to answer that part.
Yeah, I know what they mean.
Like, in terms
but
of his
yeah.
bad works, there's not a huge bunch. Youngblood Judgment Day is not good. It's ambitious and has great ideas, but it's not good. Like mostly due to the artwork. I think the story is fine, but the big problem is that, like, you know, why would anyone care about this group of characters they just made up for this that you know have no actual history? And sorry, Mr. Janitor, I know you're just trying to work here, but
I gotta kill you.
Yeah, you really need
Muffin!
to leave. I love the way he just slowly falls like,
do you know the Muffin Man who lives on Drury Lane? Now you do.
I would say that I think his best work is
And
V for
I don't know
Vendetta.
if Lewis has played Spider-Man Edge of Time or Shattered Dimensions. I own them, but I haven't played them, so I can't give thoughts.
I've heard they're good.
I've
Shattered
heard they're
Dimensions
good.
is really good.
The Beanox games in general are ones that people tout as very good, but I like legit have not played them yet. I own them. It just I need
That's
to.
the thing. I played Spider-Man PS4 and then like Spider-Man 1 on N64. Well, no, I did play the GameCube games. I did play 1 and 2 on GameCube.
I played Spider-Man 1 and 2 on PS2, and Spider-Man 2 and PS2 is a lot of fun.
I
Spider-Man
have
2
played
was the definitive Spider-Man game until PS4 came around.
I have played nearly every single Spider-Man game, but the thing is, I'm not even that big a Spider-Man fan. It's just the games are so much fun.
You ever play Spider-Man?
A lot of them
X-Men
are
Arcade
just like
Revenge?
different, and even like the Amazing Spider-Man games, which I hear aren't good, I own because I want to see how different they are. Because eventually I'm gonna go through.
Spider-Man like on PS1 and N64.
Thank you, sir.
No, Amazing Spider-Man on PS4.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's the ones based off the Amazing Spider-Man movies. Those are probably some of the worst Spider-Man games.
Yeah, some of the worst, but it's always like that's. I have this
janitor,
thing. and I know, I have this thing, and I know I'm weird, but I like playing games that people say are bad and figuring out how I feel about them because, like, it started with yeah. It
Like, I
started
go
with
for a lot
Enter
of
the
weird
Matrix
esoteric stuff.
because I got Enter the Matrix for a birthday one year, and
I
back
thought that
then I
game was
couldn't
alright.
afford. Back then I couldn't like buy or like return games. I had to make a deal with my parents. Like if they got me a game, I had to finish it. So Enter the Matrix, I played it, and I thought it was alright. But then I unlocked all the cheat codes, and I played it with my friends, and we had a blast.
Yeah,
And
with, like,
Enter
a
the Matrix
sword.
was. It was just so fun, like unlimited focus, unlimited this. And it's like, yeah,
the
I
Final
wouldn't call
Fantasy's
it a
amazing.
masterpiece,
That game's
but,
alright. It's alright.
but like I have this fascination of playing bad games because a lot of the games that people say are really bad aren't. I played Terminator Salvation the game. I know bad games.
Well,
Okay, that was
thing is,
bad.
like, well, yeah, like a lot of games are considered bad because it wasn't what people wanted. I'm obsessed with From Software lately, but like the Kingsfield games were like utterly miserable to play when they came out. But now with guides, when you see what they were trying to do and be like first-person Dark Souls, they're actually pretty clever. There's a lot of like retroactively like, oh, it wasn't bad. Although, if you want to say, oh, I've played this, I know bad games. I guess you got Terminator Salvation. I don't know that one. I know of it. For me, it's Clock Tower 2. That game sucks.
Terminator Salvation isn't bad because like it's very easy to beat. It's just like it's glitchy and nearly broken, which is part of the problem.
There's one really bad game that I both love and hate. I love it because of what happened later on with it, but I hate it because of the way I initially played it, and that's Daikatana. If you've ever played the N64 version of
I
Daikatana...
bought the N64 version because I wanted to have like the worst version of that game.
Isn't the definitive version of the game the Game Boy version?
Oh, you know what? You might be right. I forgot that existed.
The Game Boy Color version is the worst version of that game, but...
No, I
You
heard
got
the
me,
Game
you got
Boy
me.
Color version is actually the best version of the game.
Well,
No,
I just
it's
remember
not.
that on 64.
I haven't played Ride to Hell Retribution, but I saw Scott's review on it.
Oh, I've
I'm
played
not
it.
going to play Fallout 76 because that's not a game.
Fallout 76 is apparently improved.
The thing is,
but
if you've played...
I've played Ride to Hell.
If you played Daikatana with all the fan mods that Romero himself has actually assisted on some of the fan mods,
Nice.
it actually
way-
makes the game not only playable, but good!
Fair enough. By the way, I will say, not Daikatana. Ride to Hell is the only game I've played in my channel, like, over, like, 13 years of having done videos where I did, like, a supercut of, like, standout moments.
Because it was that bad.
Enjoy that. Because, it's a bad game, but I played with a friend, which made it a lot more fun. And, that game has its moments. It's, like...
what I tend to do is obviously it's like for my Let's Plays I do a Let's Play, but I talk I start with like, hey, this is what it's all about, blah blah blah, and then I go through and like we cut out the fluff. It's a little bit like a mixture of Playframe and Nico B.
Okay.
In that like I try to be educational but also head empty, only bun.
I got a weird
it's
audio glitch
fun.
in Ride to Hell that, like, I don't know what that was or how it happened or why. It scared the daylights out of me.
I only know Ride to Hell through its reputation, because I've never played it.
Yeah. That's okay, you don't have to.
Yeah.
But by the way...
I like how no one noticed you changed there.
I know, right?
By the way, Eliza, you were saying that, like, you like the really, like, the old... Like, you have all the Spider-Man games. Do you have Spider-Man and X-Men Arcade's Revenge?
Yes.
Because, like, as bad and hard as that game is, look up the soundtrack if you haven't lately. The Super Nintendo version, it is, like, the greatest soundtrack ever.
Because the very first Spider-Man game I ever played, I've been going around, getting either ROMs of Spider-Man games lately, or because I didn't get started on Spider-Man games until Spider-Man on the N64. Because it was when I bought my N64, it came with 35 games.
Actually, I had Maximum Carnage on Genesis.
Because it was one of my friends was selling their N64, and they said, look, I'm $100 short on getting myself a GameCube, I'll sell you my N64, and all my games for it, give me $100.
That's pretty sick.
Here's $100. They were giving me an N64 with 35 games, $100. I am not turning that down.
Either. Spider-Man
64
is like the coolest final boss of a Spider-Man game ever, where like you don't fight it, you just run the hell away.
And that Spider-Man game got me hooked on playing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then a few years later, I was at a convention, one of my first conventions where I was.
Hi, Chibi.
It was when I was in college and I started doing freelance reporting every now and then for magazines and stuff. And I got sent to conventions to do reports there. And I made a friend at a convention in the form of Neil Kaplan. Neil Kaplan is the voice actor is a voice actor who's done a lot of stuff, including Diabolico on Power Rangers Lightspeed Rescue. But he's also voiced a character in a lot of Spider-Man games.
Very nice.
So I just started buying Spider-Man games initially to support this guy I became friends with.
I just love that.
Look,
like,
just
you
things
beat
got a little
over
out
the
of hand,
newspaper.
but I got what I needed, which was a security guard uniform.
Well, yeah, I'm just watching you. You beat a guy with a newspaper, and you're like messing around with the body. Then another guy comes in, crowbar. Then another guy comes in, crowbar. Like, it just keeps going.
Neil Kaplan used
Someone
to
just
do this
has
really
some
hilarious.
cocaine in the bathroom.
Neil Kaplan used to do this really hilarious thing where he'd go,
Hi, Chibi.
Hulkman, Digivolve 2? Optimus Prime.
And there you go.
And it was really cool.
Oh, Mega Timmy Tommy says, "Sorry, I'm late. Just got back from the movies. Ant-Man 3 is excellent, by the way."
Yeah, I still gotta
Nice.
see it. I will see it for myself and make my own decisions because I like more Marvel stuff more than a lot of other people who are my friends who have been complaining about stuff like that. So we will see if I enjoy it eventually, but I might wait until it comes out on streaming just because last few movies I've gone to, we've only really gone if we have a friends group organized for it because we're trying to
It's been
avoid
kind of hard.
large crowds that could have COVID. Because
Exactly.
Yeah.
Vika and I, as far as we know, have never caught COVID, and we want to keep that streak going.
Yeah, same. I haven't even been to the theater since Rise of Skywalker, which means I really need to watch that.
I've been kind
Well,
of
this-
avoiding the theater, but that's, back
I've
when
gotten
I had
it
Lyme
twice.
disease.
In our case, we're having we have someone rent out a theater among people who we know are vaccinated and etc.
Yeah.
I've gotten it twice.
I've gotten it once, but that's because, Lyme disease is no joke, and you get everything.
I've been able to do a lot of my job remotely, so that's kept me at a safe distance for a while. I've been doing more in person lately, but at this point, like, things have gotten a lot safer than it used to be.
I have a really crap immune system.
All right, we got over the files to Ruby Red.
It's possibly I don't know why I have a crap immune system. It's possibly because of my intersex condition. It might be because of another reason. I don't know. I just have a crap immune system.
He could be here weeks and not find anything.
Excuse me, gentlemen, just taking the screwdriver.
You just grab it out the desk, they don't even look at you. Hanyamaro, you're gonna make those three guys ask each other some very uncomfortable questions when they wake up. Get the pile in the bathroom.
They might actually have.
Tommy, what? You were making Corpse Force without me? Not yet. We still got to complete this mission without me killing half a dozen people.
Yeah, so far,
Technically they're all alive. They just got a crowbar to the face.
Yeah. They're just unconscious in a pile, some of them in questionable positions.
Is that what I think it is?
Yes.
Man, what did I do last night?
Put to good use.
Oh,
And some of
was
them
in the
are in their
bank?
underwear.
I went to the bank.
Who are
and
you?
then things
I'm a
kinda got
new
goofy after that.
employee.
I'm not important. Good luck.
I mean, that's technically not wrong.
Has quite a scoop on her hands. My guess is this will cause a major market upset, which is sure to bring the director out from her fortified office.
oh my, this is perfect. Perfect.
Really want to watch Ant-Man Quantumania though, because out of all the different things in the MCU, my two favorite things have been Guardians of the Galaxy and Ant-Man.
How does this guy know I'm not
Captain
security?
Avenger, you missed that rolling is a myth, and we talked about Sonic and Sega for a good while.
Hey, there's a screwdriver over here.
But what about rolling around at the speed of sound? You got places to go.
I think Crush 40 didn't get the memo about the super spin attack.
Yeah, right.
Because that's the only mention of rolling that I know of in the franchise is the Crush 40 song. And yeah, I know they've done the music since the start, but if you look at the starter manual for the Genesis, it's the super spin attack. It's a 2D game. Rolling cannot exist in a 2D game.
Yeah. Also in the comics, they've never really said roll for the most part. I mean, there were a few points where he said roll, but not in response to actually doing the attack. There's always the spin attack.
Yeah, what Sonic is really doing is spinning, and also the same thing happened. The same thing happens in Metroid, because, well, I will agree that in Metroid Prime, rolling technically exists because it's a 3D space, and the classic 2D Metroids, it's spinning into a ball.
But
Curling into a ball, but you're still spinning it.
the one thing I'm just kind of sad never stuck around with Sonic is something that he used to say back in the old, like, 90s cartoons.
Slow-mos.
No, it's juice and jam time!
Oh, God.
And that's
Wish
no
that stuck around.
good.
Remember that time
Eat
Sonic
those
the
chili
Hedgehog
cheese
was the little
dogs.
Remember
The
that
chili
Sonic
cheese
what?
dogs.
Many people get stuck in a washing machine every year.
Lotus, what was that? What was that you said?
I said, remember that time Sonic the Hedgehog was Jaleel White?
Yeah, he was
for
good
like
at it.
You mean like for 3 different shows?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, every year, some ignorant kid gets caught in a washer, like what, like a clothes dryer. What?
That's
I mean,
no good.
they had to make it
Hostile
educational
termination
to you know.
Yeah, but if you're gonna make it educational, then shouldn't you make it like educational and not like
Well-
whatever the hell that was?
Well, as somebody who was once shoved into a dryer by one of their friends.
Well, you weren't some ignorant kid who put themselves into a clothes dryer, though. That was like
I'm
I'm gonna put
your-
myself into a clothes dryer now. Also, curling is not twirling.
crashed.
Twirling is towards freedom. Curl into a ball and spin. You don't curl then twirl.
twirling is towards freedom.
Benjamin Hall!
says, no sense Propano knocks people out with blunt weapons. Is he just Hawkman? Oh no,
Yeah, he
so
doesn't have
so
wings.
since he knocks him out, is he just Hawkman? Sorry.
Yep.
Well, no, he doesn't have wings.
All right. By the way,
Someday
since
I
we're
will have
doing-
wings, but today is not that day.
Today is not that day. While we have a lot of people here, I'm just gonna plug this again. I have a new video out. YouTube is not promoting it. I'm posting it in the chat. It is about Sonic 2 and my thoughts on it. I put a lot of work into it, and head empty only bun. Please check it out.
Ooh, if rolling is a myth, then what weapon does X gain from Armored Armadillo? Yeah, that is called Rolling Shield.
Well, it probably exists in Mega Man, but you notice how he slides? He doesn't roll.
Of course, but Rolling Shield though.
That shield rolls, but Mega Man doesn't himself.
Mega Man himself doesn't roll. Here's
not.
the thing. When it comes to classic games, certain characters cannot do things. So I fully accept that rolling exists, but these characters cannot do it.
Okay, so Mega Man gets a pass then.
Yes,
Also,
because he
Baby
slides.
Rose, in Vegas for Pokemon Go Tour and visiting family. How's everybody?
Doing just fine.
Feeling sorry for you that you're in Vegas. So sorry, that's a joke. I used to live in Vegas, and I know how terrible it is there.
Also,
I
Mega
like-
Timmy Tommy. Spin, you dumb animal! Spin until you die!
Oh,
That sounds
crying
vaguely
out loud.
familiar. Also, I'm tempted to mention that one infamous PSA. What the...
This is the
That's so
Hitman
good.
stream in the background with us talking about Sonic. That's what it is when I'm here. I apologize for nothing.
And when it's just me and Lotus Princess just us talking about games.
Yeah, you want me to talk about FromSoft? I could switch gears to...
I'm
Like-
sorry, I don't know anything about Hitman. X
I know.
slides.
Well, you don't
X
have to.
has
You don't
the
have to know anything about
slide.
Hitman other than I'm having a grand old time knocking people unconscious and stealing their clothes.
Oh, that's fun as
I
hell.
thought-
but, like, my only Hitman
I thought X
experience
had the
outside of these
slide,
streams was, like,
unless
Hitman
that was
2
something
on
different.
GameCube, which kicked my ass.
And there was that one time that me and Lotus Prince just talked about King's Quest for like a good hour.
Yeah, I've been
This
streaming those
discussion
games.
seems-
I've uploaded 1 through 3 now, and I had 6 on my channel years ago, so I'm working to 4 next.
Awesome. Oh, you're at
This-
4?
I'm
This
4
discussion is not
going to win
pedantic. It's very important to understand which characters in media roll and slide, and which don't.
Oh, I was supposed to poison
If
his
you're-
water. Okay,
You
whatever.
know, you know who can roll? You in Dark Souls, especially when you wear the Armor of Thorns, so you could Sonic the Hedgehog roll and damage people by rolling into them.
I need to ditch
If you're
my
actually-
gun.
What I
Because
really
of what
want to
I
get thrust in
do
there, I
eventually, because I'm working up to it, I want to eventually do a Katamari Damacy bun plays, because that game is all about rolling.
Roll.
And I don't know what I want to do. Part of me wants to deny it the whole time that rolling is happening, but the other part of me wants to be like, well, see, this is a different universe.
Sonic
So-
wishes you could do this.
Sonic wishes he could have 3 dimensions.
You idiot, only going left and right.
So I'll figure it out as I go. I don't want to give anything away, but I definitely want to do like a Katamari Damacy playthrough at some point.
You know who rolls is the Super Sentai team you fight in God Hand, where they just awkwardly somersault like how a real person would do it. They just slowly somersault away at like half a mile an hour, and you're just staring at them, and you just go, keep on rolling. Like, it's amazing.
And then there's like a Sura's Wrath, which has a lot of stuff.
God Hand is gold. God Hand is like Platinum Games' best game before the company called itself Platinum Games.
God Hand has one of the best things about God Hand is that Bollywood ending.
Well, also the entirety of the game is Fist of the North Star if it were a joke. There are so many references to like specific things in Fist of the North Star, including your first line in the game.
Oh, I didn't know that because
I'm here for a meeting with Director Savalas.
My only experience
with Samus couldn't properly roll until Metroid Prime.
But like the very first thing you do, you stagger into town, like, and then just go water. But you like say it stupidly, but like it's totally serious in Fist of the North Star, where he's like actually dying of thirst.
And I like how flying is just falling sideways. Usually done with style, but not always.
I was gonna say with style.
But
Black hours, output,
flying, it's just
sales
falling with
portfolios, late nights and early mornings, things like that. Frankly, we don't like your barcode tattoo.
My first and only experience with Fist of the North Star was the live-action movie.
Yeah, that is some jank. But if you watch the anime or read the manga, God Hand is that, and it's great. It's subtle things too. Like when you fight Elvis and he does that weird pose before sliding towards you, and it's like your arms are out and you're just inexplicably sliding forward. What are you doing? Like that's what Thouser did when he first fought Kenshiro. It's like little details like that that just
problem
make it
is my
fun.
sweaters.
Also, Mike Manhattan, Rollerball does not exist. I don't know what you're talking about. I think there might have been a trailer about something, but no, that doesn't exist.
She wants to fire me because of my sweaters.
I mean, maybe if you wore a Rorschach sweater, then they'd be like, oh, opportunity, execution.
Push her through the clock, push her through the clock, push her through the clock.
I'm telling you, this is that.
Looks like your time's run out.
This just is that area. Have any of you played Bloodborne?
Yes.
I haven't yet. I played like the literal opening, but that's it. Oh yeah, like here's the thing. I have an issue with Bloodborne. I liked it, but I couldn't get past the tutorial because I didn't know what to do. I was in that opening area for like the longest
that's what
time.
You do. Like you're supposed to.
No, not the where you start off in the cemetery, like, and I just walked around and. Yeah, I don't.
You
I didn't know
pick
what
up
to
your
do.
weapons and then you leave.
I didn't know how to leave. I was so confused.
Oh, you investigate the gravestone and the prominent tall one, and then it's like, where do you want to teleport to?
The game didn't tell me that.
Yeah,
well, that's the thing with FromSoft. For better or for worse, they're not generally explicit. Like there are messages on the ground in the dream about basic controls, but usually FromSoft is pretty much like.
This is not my first termination, Mr.
A lot.
We're letting you go, Mr. Jackson.
Yeah, which is why when I first played
Miss Jackson, if you're nasty.
I'm sorry, Miss Jackson.
When I played the very first Dark Souls game, I did not realize you were supposed to go through this door on the side.
Oh, God damn it, I was supposed to push her!
Myself. I just
Not my first termination.
Kill my boss? Do I dare live the American dream?
I just kept on throwing myself at the first enemy there, over and over again, dying until I beat them.
What do you mean, the skeletons?
And Yamaro, in this case, you have all the justification world for the whole murder thing. Yes!
Yeah, this is one of those, like, I'll look the other way.
You know, that first, when you first start up your first Dark Souls games, and that first enemy you come across, that's that big thing?
What, the Asylum Demon?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to run past him and then do a plunge. You can beat him early and you get his hammer for it, but you're not really supposed to.
I just kept on throwing myself at him until I defeated him because I did not realize you're supposed to run past him.
Oh, by the way, here's a fun fact for you. That fight was like a wink homage to the first boss fight in Demon's Souls, where again, you can beat him, but you're really supposed to lose, and then it takes you to where the real game starts. But in Dark Souls, it's like, no, he'll be dead by the time you leave here. And you're like, what?
One thing is, like, I like From Software. I really liked 3D Game Heroes, but, like, playing Bloodborne, it was just too much vagueness for me.
Who knew
Like,
that they made 3D Game Heroes? Like, once you know they're the Souls people, you're like, they made that game?
Wait,
they made a really good Zelda game, but, like, when you look at, like, Dark Souls, like, it's just too much for me. But then again, I guess if people want me to play it, I gotta, you know,
Oh, no!
I'm not gonna say no.
Oh no! Oh no! What an accident!
But it wasn't an accident.
It wasn't an accident at all, was it, Steve? But no, you should see Sekiro. Those boss fights are, like, some of them get terrifying. Like, the late game bosses, oh my god.
Well, I'm fired. And just when I got hired too, man, it's a bum rap we got in this industry, but well.
You know what? Maybe you could keep your job if you could explain why I shouldn't fire you without using the letter E.
I am a good work guy.
You're fired.
But I didn't say.
So
Hanyamaru, fire this.
Fire this.
All right, now we need to retrieve the vault data cores.
Also, back to the whole Jaleel White thing as Sonic.
Yeah.
Jaleel, my favorite thing was in Sonic Underground, which is my favorite Sonic show.
Were you trying to save your mom?
Where Jaleel White voices all three siblings.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Including the girl.
You know what?
Boy.
Works for me.
That is a good
Sonic Underground
there.
is something Sonic Underground just makes my head hurt. But then again, that's me. But yeah, like I said, if people want me to eventually play Demons or Dark Souls, I might try it. But like, it's not high on my list. I want to start with like small games.
Like I beat the ever-loving hell out of Dark Souls 1. If you want like tips, let me know.
I do want tips. How do I not die?
Okay, well, the short answer, the meme answer is get good, but
that's it. You don't. That's the thing. You don't.
No, honestly, like as much of a reputation as those games have, it's like any other game where you practice until you're better. Like you learn enemy patterns and stuff like that.
Or
so kind of like a roguelike, only different.
And by the way, let me tell you, after playing Dark Souls 3 and Bloodborne, like Dark Souls 1 feels like it's in slow motion. It's not so daunting as it used to be.
Yeah.
The greatest thing about
I do want to start probably with Bloodborne because like I tried a little bit of Demon Souls and I like it, but Bloodborne is more my aesthetic.
Well, I will say this: I played Dark Souls as a tank, so like Bloodborne forced me to learn how to dodge instead of block. So I thought Dark Souls was pretty hard, but after beating Bloodborne, it was like I can't believe I ever thought this was hard.
I tried Demon Souls as a mage because I hear they're OP and like
they're pretty
to
good
an extent. Like they beat bosses very easily. I didn't get very far. Like I got the first stage of most bosses. Like you know what I'm talking about because there's like different pathways and each one has a tier 1 boss, tier 2. Like I just did like the first stage of each boss.
Oh, you beat World 1-1, you beat World 2-1, etc.
Yeah. The only one that gave me trouble though was the damn fire one that jumped around.
Flame Lurker.
Flame Lurker was awful. I hated him, even with my build.
He's one of the harder bosses in the game, and he's World 2 too. He's one of the tougher bosses. But like once you learn like rolling, he does get better. But I just stayed away from him and soul arrowed him forever.
Like he was like Flame Lurker was the one that made me stop the game for a while because I had so much trouble trying to beat him, even with my build. I had no trouble with like the spider boss. I had no trouble with the first defense boss. Like a lot of them were just. Phalanx was easy. Penetrator was easy.
Phalanx, as long as you stay away, he's kind of free because he consists entirely of enemies you've already fought. Oh, by the way, Hanyamaru, Lewis has a good point for you, Lewis. This is problematic for your future career. I just realized this means you're not going to get a good letter of recommendation for a new job. What a foolish mistake.
Well.
Oh no, I won't get a good reference.
You get them to sign off before you kill them.
Yeah, if you got a good reference before you killed them, that would help you out with getting another job. Yeah, definitely.
Although if
Yeah,
it's a
but you were
big
being
compensation,
fired.
on your next employee, like on your next resume, you could call this a learning experience. I should have gotten the recommendation, I didn't, but now I know.
Just like on every single just like on any resume you ever put out, always at Dungeons and Dragons there's team building exercises.
Well, I couldn't have done that
Yeah,
back in
I'll
the day,
go
but I
back to
could do it
Dark
now.
Souls, not Dark Souls. I'll go back to Demon Souls eventually. I just Flame Lurker made me steam, and it's
Yeah,
the other
no,
bosses I didn't have a lot of issue with.
Run to the other
with
end
my
of the
build.
arena, pepper him with soul arrows. Like, it's boring, but it's free. But if you want to get in there, he's pretty intimidating. You need like
The
anti.
problem is I don't know if they patched it or whatnot, but like I'm playing the PS3 version, and he has a way of like somehow getting to you
You
no
can
matter
close the
what.
distance, but you can get him caught on a little bit of the level geometry. There's like a dragon bone you can run around.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that reminds me. Lotus Prince. A friend of mine just popped into the chat and mentioned the fact that you're the reason that they are into Fatal Frame.
It's my fault. Yeah, I did Fatal Frame Let's Plays back on Blip, like before YouTube was a thing. So I played them way back in the day,
Back in the
including
before
Fatal
time,
Frame
the
4.
long,
Like I got
ago.
the fan translation for that back in like the early to mid 2010s. So I was super excited about that, and I don't think I'd even played Fatal Frame 3 at that point. I forgot.
Yeah,
if I
Lotus
had or
has
not.
been Let's Playing for a very long time. I only just
13
started
years.
technically
2010.
last year.
This is my Let's Playing career is very weird because I did it between like 2011 to 2014. Then I took a break for a while, then started again in 2016 to 2020. Then I
There you
took
go.
then I took another break, and now I just started up again last year.
Yeah, I mean,
What is
play
this
it when
gun?
you want to. That's what makes it like more enjoyable.
Tranquilizer
when you're
gun.
into it.
Interesting.
Yeah, like I did this for fun because I know Let's Plays are in some instances a dying medium. So I was just like, you know what, one last hurrah, let's try Sonic, and it went over very well. I'm kind of impressed with how, like one of my episodes is at like I think nearly 1,000 views, which I'm like, oh okay. I just started this on a whim, but
And rather
you
than
know
just
sometimes it gets promoted for no reason.
instead of doing Let's Plays the way I used to, I'm just doing it in this way of I'm just gonna stream myself playing the game and having fun.
That's the
Yeah.
whole thing. Yeah, like unless you're literally making it a career where like you have to have like extremely regular output and you got to keep doing it or else your like funding gets cut off. Like just do it because you enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
I'm doing it
actually-
to have fun. It's like, yeah, I tend to put out something like once every other week or so, but I'm having fun with Sonic. Yeah, I don't care. It's
Yeah,
Sonic.
And as
Yeah.
for me, like I can be a while between Let's Plays because I got it like because I don't have an editor. Like I'm the editor. So like something like Elden Ring, I'm
Security
not looking
camera.
forward to editing that because that's
Oh,
a
they're the
long
ones
one.
who spotted me, not security cameras. I thought it was security cameras who got me.
See, this is why I have Tifa. I pay Tifa to edit my Let's Plays,
There you go.
and it just puts the pressure off of me. I just have to be funny and
Yeah.
try.
But also, like,
you know, try my
one-
best, you know.
Like, but once I do start uploading, it's daily.
What I tend to do is I have my primer, and then I'll give it a little break, because by the time the primer's out, I'll be just about done, like, recording every episode. And then it's just like, well, they gotta be edited. So it's like, it'll be like either a week or 2 weeks in between, and then the first impressions takes a bit. But, like, I try to have everything recorded first.
Yeah, I try recording everything, and then I put up a video like, this is the next game I'm gonna play. It's gonna be in like a few days for patrons and like a week after that for general consumption, and then there's that little interim, and then they just start going up.
Yeah, I mean, like, for me, it's just like, hey, I have it technically on 2 different channels, because the first impressions and the primers I put on my main channel, so that people can, like, go see the actual, like, Let's Play on the other channel, and it's not as cluttered that way.
Fair enough. Plus, it also
And I'm hoping-
focuses the channels.
It focuses the channels, and it gets people to, like, switch between for what they want. But yeah, if you want to see me die a lot of times at the Death Egg Robot, go check out that Bun Plays Sonic.
Yeah, I missed Blip. Yeah, Blip only had like 1 or 2 different kinds of ads per month, so they got really damn old. But it paid pretty well.
Yeah.
Put your hands up!
Not to
Put your hands up!
Like,
Denny's
you just
is a
don't
taste of
care,
America.
that song goes.
You care
a
about
taste
my
of America.
fiber? That's for babies.
That's for babies.
Who broke
Clip was
the
also
copier,
good
copier,
because
copier, copier?
you could upload an edited version and it'll keep the view count and everything.
That's cool.
It was great.
Good times.
I miss Blip.
Oh dear! All these distractions!
I blame Sonic. It's all Sonic's fault. Knuckles is better. Knuckles is awesome.
You know,
Oh.
in Knuckles' themes lyrics, like I forgot exactly how it goes, but it's like the silliest. It's something like, I might have the words a little wrong, but it's like something like I prefer to use my knuckles, and Sonic just prefers to chuckle. It was definitely like chuckle and knuckle, and it was like the goofiest thing I've ever heard.
Well, that's why they say no one fuckles with Knuckles.
That's the they say. I've heard that constantly.
The funny thing is, Sonic Underground is actually the first show that Knuckles ever showed up on.
Oh, no kidding. That's great. Well,
Yeah.
well, okay, TV show, but he was in that old movie, the 90s.
Yeah, I think that actually came out the same year.
As Underground?
Yeah, Underground came out in 98? 97?
Oh, damn, okay. I'll have to look this up.
I don't remember when the OVA came out, but I know it came to America in the late 90s.
I didn't realize it was the late ones. Now you got me interested.
Key card.
When did that come out?
JP 96, America, let me find it. Oh, maybe it was 99. Well, damn. 2 days before the North American release of Sonic Adventure. The hype. Yeah. My God.
Okay, Sonic Underground was in 99. I thought it was in 98.
Even so. I thought it was a lot newer than that.
No. I watched...
Maybe I'm thinking Sonic X or something?
Yeah, Sonic X was in the 2000s. And now there's Sonic Prime, which is really good. Everyone should watch
Eventually,
Sonic Prime.
I need to take a look at the shows. I've never seen a Sonic show in my life, but, you know, it's all part of the experience.
And I saw the old 90s cartoons. That
You
were
either
not
die a hero, or you live long enough to become a Sonic fan and start watching Sonic shows.
Here's the thing. There is not a bad Sonic show.
I hear Sonic Boom, the show, is good.
Oh, it is.
It is. A couple of bits of it. It's amazing. Yeah.
It is possibly the best Sonic comedy show.
The funny thing is, like, basically everything Sonic Boom related is good except for like the first game, which is like where the first impressions come from. Like, apparently even Fire and Ice for the 3DS is like pretty all right. It's just
and
that
then the sequel was actually pretty good on the DS. Like,
but that's
it's strange. It's better on mobile. Yeah.
Yeah, but like Rise of Lyric just like just didn't do it.
No.
What really didn't help was how just like self-congratulating that game was. Like, it had a lot of like, I guess it was trying to be immersive with character commentary, but it would be like woohoo, or like, oh, look at these rings, like this is great, and it's just
they
like,
found the bodies in the bathroom.
You don't tell me how fun the game is. I tell you how fun the game is. Like, it's very annoying when the game's like reminding you how awesome a time you're having.
They did that so they'd have some dialogue because they had to cut out everything they had planned because Sega told them no.
Yeah, I mean, like, I get that there were like not compensations. Oh no,
they had to make
secessions or whatever.
Because they wanted to do this
concessions.
They didn't want to do this great epic story about how Sonic and Eggman first encountered each other, the origin story of it all.
Yeah, but like, it's just like woohoo! Rings,
Frontiers apparently does it better.
They
So
have a security card for this at least.
But then Sega was like this. Wait, no. We might want to do that eventually ourselves. So even though we're doing this whole split universe thing, we're going to tell you that no, you can't have an origin story for your universe.
Oh, I like this one comment in chat. Look, it's a ramp. We can use that as a ramp. actual real Sonic Boom.
Actual Sonic Boom.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually in the game.
That's infuriating.
We have a money transport key. That'll come in handy for our escape. I just need a key card to actually, like, open the vault, which I thought we had, but apparently we don't. Too many damn key cards.
Have you tried setting it to W for Wumbo?
The thing is,
I mean,
when
not recently.
Sonic Boom is basically the entire thing about Sonic Boom is there was a good idea there.
Oh sure, same with Ride to Hell. Like that game was going to be ambitious, but then like it just didn't happen.
But then Sega kept on saying, no, you gotta cut this. No, you gotta cut this. No, you gotta cut this. To the point where they said, okay, what if we introduce a new villain and have this be somebody that Sonic has known before? No, you can't have Sonic have known a new villain before.
Yeah, that's weak. That's weak.
So what can we do? I feel so bad for the developers of Sonic Boom because
it sounds like the Sonic 06 stuff, because like apparently Sonic 06 was very ambitious, but like just
yeah, I mean, well, you could tell
rushed.
just by looking. Like it was gonna be like epic, and it's just this build a mess.
But then they kept on telling, no, you gotta have this out. You gotta have this part done this. You gotta have this part done there. You gotta have this part done here. You gotta have release it like a full year before you're ready.
The
And
problem
just
with Sonic
watch
always
Sonic.
tends to be the crunch, because like as much as I love Sonic 2, that had crunch development and had major issues. That was developed in what, 9 months?
Damn.
With Sonic 06, they were actually halfway through development told they had to completely change the engine they were using.
Yeah, it's absurd.
So
At
it's
that
like
point, they were just like,
I get
no.
it. I get why it's like this. It doesn't, it explains it. It doesn't excuse it, you know?
Which
they
is why
really
I'm-
have to have the devs just tell their boss, like, no, take a hike. We're releasing a good game on a less developed engine instead of not a game at all on the new engine.
Which, the thing is, it's the reason why I like the Sonic 06 fan project that's currently going on, where they're trying to fix all the problems with 06.
Vault key card.
Because
okay.
there
So
is
they're
a
gonna
good
delete the
game
kissing
there.
scene at the end.
To be fair, I don't have a problem with that.
It's so weird. Like when you see Sonic the Hedgehog next to like realistic looking people, it was kind of weird in Sonic Adventure 1 as well.
I was kind of used to it by that point because it had been happening in the comics
It's
for
funny
years.
because I only ever played one level of Sonic Adventure 1, and I never saw like I saw the whales and whatnot, that level,
Oh yeah,
but I never saw the people.
They brought that back in Sonic,
Um,
06, I think.
I played Sonic Adventure 2 like fully, but like they didn't have like the people, so it's so weird how
Yes.
things kind of change.
They only had
you
people
know?
in like FMV scenes where like you never saw Sonic with them, so you're like, oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it was fine, and it's like you had the racing scene, which I could do without, but it's like I get why they did it. You know, it's like none of Sonic Adventure 2, at least for me, feels like forced or constrained to be this, you know.
Oh, by the way, you know what's great about Adventure 2? Remember that big scene where Eggman gets on like the big, like giant screen, like the Times Square looking screen, and he's like, "Attention, everybody! I'm gonna fire my giant space laser." You know that scene.
Yeah.
I have an announcement to make.
I have an announcement. But you know, like, did you notice when he's talking, there's just scrolling like text behind him, and you can't
Yeah.
quite read it because it goes by a little too fast. It's stuff like,
Great, my
"I am
retirement
great."
is assured, guys. I'm getting all this gold.
You are the strongest
am
man in
great.
the world if you're just like palming a gold bar.
I'm palming gold bars. I
Yeah,
got a
those things
violin
are
in my
heavy.
pocket.
Like, did you ever see Goldfinger where Bonds just chucked a gold bar at Odd Job and it just bounced off? I was just like, oh, like I'm
Just-
never gonna fight this guy.
Yeah. Gold
was
is actually
horrible.
quite heavy.
That
Gold
was
is actually really
terrible.
quite heavy.
But what I was saying with Robotnik is one of the things scrolling behind him is just text that says "I am great," and that's just really funny to me.
Yeah.
Like
But,
he totally would do that, because like isn't he doing this to make like a theme park or something?
Well, the theme
Exfiltrate the
park I
bank.
think might have been in like Unleashed.
I still
But,
love that exfiltrate. I mean, it is a real word. It's the opposite of infiltrate, but still.
Yes.
Well, yeah,
But-
you want to hear some
Now,
other words
now
like that?
that is a real word, but it's,
It's the
the
wrong
wrong
word.
word.
Well,
It
yeah,
is
but
not
like,
the wrong
there are
word.
other
It
words
technically
like-
applies, but who the hell says exfiltrate? Anyway, success! We did it! without murdering
Woo!
anyone who you weren't supposed to.
By the
The
way,
thing
you know who says exfiltrate? The people who say kempt and vincible.
Yeah, but I honestly I didn't have a problem with the Sonic kissing a person thing because I had been reading the Sonic comics from Archie since they started, and the Overlanders had been a big thing since like the mid '90s.
I only really knew about just Sally. Oh, by the way, Zen, here's some deep lore for you. The instruction manual for Sonic CD refers to what we would now instantly recognize as Amy Rose as Sally, because Sally's a character that Americans would have recognized at the time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did mention that in the CD primer. There's also something else that they mentioned about her that I don't want to give away because it's a funny joke. It's kind of like the whole Bill Clinton origins thing that I thought was really funny for Sonic. But like, there's stuff with Amy that hasn't ever been brought up outside of this manual, and it's just like, it's a funny moment. So
Propano,
I'll tell you after the
first
stream.
try.
Yeah, congratulations.
First try.
You are now Mr. Bankerman.
All right, now that we have a few minutes, we have 13 minutes left. So you know what that means?
Rampage.
Rampage.
Do it. Rampage.
But,
Actually, I'll type it to you in mod chat so that you know
and
what
by the
I'm
way,
talking
Zen,
about.
when you mentioned Bill Clinton, I'm assuming you're obviously referring to that one time he was holding up a copy of Guilty Gear for the PS1. Clearly.
Actually, no. Sonic was actually based off of the can-do attitude of Bill Clinton.
Yep.
That's great.
But
And I made a joke about it in one of my primer episode, and it's amazing. So just go watch that if you can. But
stuff.
like it's a lot. So Lotus.
But the funny, really insane thing about Sonic, it comes from the comics where do you know the reason why there's the anthropomorphic animals and the humans there?
I didn't even know there were humans in the comics. I don't think.
Yes, all the humans are only there because they survived in a dome city in Antarctica.
Good stuff.
But the reason why the anthropomorphic animals are there is because Mobius is actually Earth about 10,000 years into the future.
I was wondering that because there's, like, I mean, at least in the cartoons and stuff, and like in the video games, there are humans. So like,
All right, guys, here we go.
I was never sure if the video games.
I have
took place
come
on
here
Earth or
to
not.
chew bubble gum and kick ass, and I'm all out of bubble gum.
You're using legit quote.
But the reason why the anthropomorphic animals are there is because aliens showed up on Earth and decided, because of something that happened later on in the comics, they decided to gene bomb the entire planet to prevent something from ever happening.
That's amazing.
That thing that they were trying to prevent from happening was Sonic the Hedgehog.
Oh, and Toku Elite 555 says no trial of Peter Parker joke in the latest Atop the Fourth Wall.
Sometimes just like, there's so much trial media out there. I didn't think of any good.
It's better to use something that people don't expect.
Yeah, like
well,
trial
sometimes you
people.
do go for the obvious joke because sometimes it's funnier that way. But in this case, I just didn't really have any times where I thought, yeah, that would be funny. Good. Got to get our signature weapon here.
But yeah, like I just think it's funny because like,
there.
If you break it down, Sonic is based on Goku and Bill Clinton.
Yep.
I'm not joking. This is real. And Shadow is based on Vegeta. There's a lot of Dragon Ball Z ripoffs in this, and it's like, it's just Jaleel White / Goku / Bill Clinton are the same character, and all I'm saying is Bill Clinton is Goku.
Things
that's the
I
end of the...
discovered today. Only NPCs with dots over them are real NPCs.
What does that mean? What if they don't have dots over them?
Then they won't notice unless everyone else is doing something. Because someone did this amazing challenge. They paid $1,000 to kill like 5 targets in a custom map. In the fastest time, and people found various exploits in Hitman 2 that they could use to speed up the time, and one person was able to do it in under a minute. 5 targets
great.
across the map, and one of the things they do is like you can shoot past someone in a public crowd because they are not technically real NPCs. They do not set off alarms. They might react, but they don't. But you don't like get hunted or anything like that.
That's fantastic. Oh, by the way, Hanyamaru has no mercy, and naturally, you're not ever going to acknowledge how many hospital bills they're responsible for now. Yet you don't give it a single thought. Propano just does not care, man.
Basically, aliens carpet bombed the planet that turned everything on the planet that wasn't in this domed city into like this protoplasmic ooze that merged human and animal DNA together, which basically means that every single anthropomorphic animal in Sonic is half human, half animal.
Yeah, that'll happen.
It's like body horror. That's like existential crisis.
And they did this because Sonic accidentally traveled through time once and kicked their ass in the past, which led to them going to going to Earth, and doing this to Earth to try and prevent Sonic from being able to go back in time and kick their ass.
Is that why it's called Mobius? It'll be like a time loop?
Yes.
Wow.
It's literally because Sonic is the cause for Mobius.
That's fantastic.
There's just a lot of interesting like Sonic history. The more I look into it, I try like in each primer to look at a character that I haven't looked at yet. So in this primer for CD, I talk a lot about Tails and like why he was put into the game and stuff like that.
Do you get the pun with Tails' name, by the way?
Miles Tails per hour.
Miles
per hour. Yeah.
I get it.
I prefer miles per hour because it's funnier. I didn't know that was his name for the longest ass time until people started talking about it. I'm like, American people are just like, that's stupid. I'm just like, miles per hour is fun.
It's a great
yeah,
pun.
it says it in Sonic 2, Miles, and then in quotes, Tails, like nickname, per hour, but I still didn't put together, like when you say it out loud, it's miles per hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. It just, you learn,
Eat that.
There's a lot that you learn from the Sonic rabbit hole, so I try to make it at least somewhat educational as I tell you that rolling is a myth.
There is a lot of weird, insane shit about Sonic. Like, it is one of the most fascinating franchises ever made.
It is a deep rabbit hole, especially because Sonic was originally designed to be a rabbit.
Oh yeah, I did hear about that.
The only franchise I can think of that has there's 3 franchises I can think of that have even more insane lore shit than Sonic, and those are X-Men, Kirby,
Now then, I believe we were having a job interview.
and Final Fantasy. Because
Whoa, get wrecked.
Final Fantasy IX hints that every single Final Fantasy game might be connected.
Oh, well, I knew about the
And Yamaro,
I mean,
and naturally,
10.
you're not going to acknowledge how many hospital bills you're responsible for.
I know
now, and you don't give it a single
Shinra's in
fuck.
it at 10.
Listen, I'm a
In
clown.
10.
I don't have time to worry about your petty stuff like that. I have
get wrecked.
responsibilities. I'm actually doing my job.
And then the Final Fantasy fighting games, Dissidia, actually confirm it.
That's good stuff. But yeah,
Also,
FF10
Captain
has the
Avenger,
character
ow,
scene.
you're hired.
I should go back and get the propane tank.
Also, I don't know about complicated lore, but Street Fighter has an insane amount of like homages with like its characters. There's a lot of JoJo stuff.
For Kirby,
Bonk.
did you know that Kirby is actually the reincarnation of a dark god from the previous universe?
Yeah, that'll
Well,
happen.
I can easily believe that because every Kirby final boss is an Eldritch Horror.
Yeah,
I
Kirby
haven't
himself
played
is an
much
Eldritch Horror.
Kirby, so I don't know too much about the lore. I do want to like hold off a little bit, but I did know about the Eldritch Horror thing. I at least knew that.
Kirby always weirdly gets super dark if you 100% the game.
Mega Timmy Tommy, was that a demon on that inspirational poster?
There's an eagle.
There were 3 inspiration posters. One of them was like a stack of money. One was an eagle. One was, I can't remember what the other one was.
A city, I think.
A city, yeah, something like that.
Yeah. But
Propano has 20 kids to feed, all in one small car.
Exactly.
Wait a minute, I thought you had 21 kids. You got me, man. I ain't even married.
That's a good one. That's a deep cut.
But and X-Men, I am working on an entire video series based on just explaining the X-Men.
Yeah,
Also,
that'll
Kirby,
be
a game where
trip.
cute meets Eldritch and every fan is afraid of butterflies. Also, the game where Kirby can eat a car and become a car, and it's
You
weird.
should see, like, even though I've only ever played Kirby 64, I've seen, like, endgame of whatever the new one's called, Forbidden Lands.
Yeah.
I've seen the trailers for that one, and it looks so adorable.
Yeah, but like the end game stuff where you see like what the boss is and where it's from, like, oof, it's unsettling. It's like legitimately unsettling for like a Nintendo game.
Biblically accurate Kirby.
Biblically
Yeah.
accurate Kirby.
Hey, Propano, don't be sour. There are other jobs out there. No need to go on a rampage over being rejected from one of them.
We weren't rejected. We were fired, and
We were fired unfairly
everyone has
before
to
we had
suffer.
even started.
Mario is just like,
And
I'm
for
For a
what?
sweater. For a sweater.
For a sweater. These people deserve this. Attempted murder.
Oh.
Think of a Nobel Prize for attempted chemistry.
Do they? Do they?
I ask you.
See, you know, he's out of line, but he's right.
They should give an award for attempted chemistry. Well, actually, no, they do give an award for attempted chemistry. It's called the Darwin Award.
No respect around here. I am a professional here, and here they are running around like headless chickens, not even staying at their desks to do their job. Have I killed any innocent people? No.
Yeah, if you had kept your sweater, that could have potentially increased your morale and comfort, and therefore your productivity. And they didn't see that.
Exactly. These people are terrible. I'm doing them a favor by ending this bank.
These people are sweaterists. They're racist against sweaters.
I like this comment. Don't rampage. Just quietly quit the job that fired you.
Quiet quitting.
Quiet quitting
had
means
enough of
working
this
there and
quiet
getting paid. I don't
quitting.
think so.
I'll tell you, we have loud quitting here, sir. Loud quitting.
It's important, if we had a union, this wouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, right.
Oh, the chandelier.
Are you watching 30 Seconds Behind?
I'm watching the stream itself.
Yeah, because I have it because I'm streaming it through Discord, so you can see it there live.
Yeah, I'm seeing this stuff happening as it happens.
Well, I also have to watch the chat too.
Fair
so.
enough. Fair enough.
Actually, Zan, you know what I do for this is I have Discord in like windowed mode, and I have the stream covering the stream, so I could see the comments on the right, so I can actually see the YouTube.
I just pop out the stream and then put it over top of the YouTube image.
Well, I actually, come to think of it, you could do the opposite too. You might be able to pop out the chat and put it over the Discord window.
That could also be an option, yes.
Technology. But I'll just say this right now: technology is a myth. That's just too obvious.
Attempted chemistry. Honestly, is there a Nobel Prize for attempted murder?
Already did it. Oh, hey, look at this handsome.
Wait.
Look at this handsome individual here. I would hire this man.
I'm seeing double 4 propanos. Oh god, the half-baked reference. F you, you're cool. F you, I'm out.
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah. Kiss his ass, kiss my ass.
Propano really doesn't take criticism well. Yeah, well, guess what? They were a bunch of jerks.
You know, I've only actually ever quit one job. Every other job I've been at, the company closed.
Wow.
Oh, good, I unlocked the door.
One of my
Oh
jobs,
no,
I
what
was
an
at
accident!
The place shut down, but another one I quit because I was working as at a college and retail, and I was or maybe it was tutoring and retail, and with the combined hours, it got to a point where I was juggling either 2 or 3 jobs. I want to say 2 at one point, but I got a more promising one, so I had to quit one. So I think I've actually quit once.
I threw a grenade at someone's face after she was already knocked out. Grenade went off, killed her, and that counted as an accidental kill.
Well, I mean, it just slipped. You all saw it.
But, I quit my very first job was at McDonald's, and I quit that.
Fight
There was a job
Maria.
at
I'm telling
McDonald's.
you, fight Maria. This is your big chance. Or at least
Here's,
open the clock
here's
and
my
enter
stack
into-
of references, everybody.
I can tamper with the clock. I wonder what mission that's for.
Open the clock and enter the what was that place called in Bloodborne? The something hamlet? The fishing hamlet.
Yeah.
That place was terrifying.
Oh no, what an accident. Except it wasn't an accident.
I was just gonna say TF Master, but it wasn't an accident. Yes, it was.
I was at 2 magazines that closed down. 3 if you got the one that I owned that closed down.
All you gotta say is, it was a prank, bro.
All right, let's try to go
See the
down and
camera?
complete
Use
the
it to
mission
prank.
while still on the rampage.
It's just a prank, bro.
Rampage!
Just look directly at the camera and
Wait.
smile. See? This is gonna go on YouTube.
If this is Rampage, where are Lizzie and Ralph?
Oh, that took me a second.
And
I
tomorrow,
had to think
also,
about
now you
that
are
for a
definitely
second.
not going to get a good recommendation. You know what? I've been looking to go independent anyway.
I'm gonna branch out.
I see. I see myself independent contractor. I don't need any recommendation. I can start my own business, be my own boss, set my own hours.
Besides, Ugly Sonic already has my back. It's all good.
Ugly Sonic has my back.
We don't make mistakes. We just make happy accidents. Just a happy little treat.
Stradivarius!
I love the way you overhead throw with like both hands, just like just clobber 'em.
Nope, not silver baller. I want. There we go.
Kill him with the violin.
Coin.
30 wax of the wet noodle, Bart.
You know, you should just go make your own bank with blackjack.
Exactly.
You know what? Forget the whole thing.
Oh god, there you are. Something
You forget the bank.
Oh crap! I was supposed to be making a bank. Oh god.
Wow.
Hi,
get right.
Kana. Kana says hi. She says she doesn't know what's going on, but she likes it.
What am I gonna do with you?
I gave Kana a spa day today. She got brushings and she got pets. And she's all
weird.
silky now.
Oh, you finally did it. You took him out with the wet floor sign or the
Yep.
caution. Yeah.
What
Well, full
floor?
stop, look at that.
Watch your step.
It's hazardous in here. Ugh.
The only
A wall?
hazard here is
Yeah, once you target someone and throw, like, it comically seeks them forever. Like, your briefcase is like the most dangerous weapon
Try
ever.
plugging that in and out again. I ruined the joke. It was supposed to be try turning that on and off again.
I was trying to work in, like, a don't stare that, like, borderline works.
Propano is secretly Bullseye.
Yeah, well, once you target
Oh.
someone, they're targeted. Like, that's just it.
No, you wouldn't want Propano to be Bullseye, because Bullseye is kind of an asshole.
He's got the accuracy, though.
Ah, I got a key for it. Okay, well, I'll take care of that in a moment.
I have a key. It's called this gun.
The funny thing is, did you know that at one point in time they wanted to have it be revealed that Bullseye was a mutant that had superhuman aiming powers?
I mean, I can buy it. Didn't they reveal that Cyclops' secondary power is like an uncanny sense of like geometry, so he can bounce his beams super well?
Yes, it's perfect. It was what was it again? It was perfect spatial awareness.
Yeah, okay, there you go.
Seems a
So
little
like, I can believe it.
unnecessary.
I know, like, God forbid he's just like good at his job because he's been doing
Exactly.
it his whole life.
This isn't a job. This is pleasure.
This isn't a job. This is art.
This is Sparta.
But yeah, the whole perfect spatial awareness thing was a secondary
game's on.
mutation.
Ooh, Global Baseball League.
New York
Oh,
versus Han.
So China.
I'm trying to watch the game.
I hate when people talk
blind?
during the movie.
Quiet. This is a library.
Yeah, that's that. Wow, that's a deep.
That's a deep cut. Wow, God, we're old.
That's one of the very few sketches from that show I've like actually seen. I barely watched it back then.
Baggin' Saggin' Barry is another one I remember because dude had huge pants and he kept pulling weird stuff out of.
There was also Give Peas a Chance and Vital Information for Your Everyday Life.
I think everyone remembers Vital Information.
Uh,
Alright, we're looking for a security card. Or if we can pry open... I wonder if the crowbar could pry open that vault.
but the
See,
perfect
I
facial-
figured out who Propano is. He's Repairman.
That's another one. I remember that one.
But the perfect facial awareness thing was done because they were giving everybody secondary mutations, and they're like, "Well, can we give Cyclops for a secondary mutation?" I
He's
know.
really good with his first mutation.
Okay, I don't have a crowbar. That's why I can't pry it open. Okay, I gotta find a crowbar.
I like that those two
What are you-
people just came down and they see a guy in full clown gear, like holding a gun. They're just like, "Whoa, nope."
I mean, Beast gets a secondary mutation and it turns him into a cat.
Why would you drag the body down here? What is it gonna do? It's gonna smell, and this area is already, bad because you don't have this, the air conditioning on. In fact, turn the air conditioning on.
Captain Avenger 1993. You are still going to get docked for excessive murder. To be fair, we've already been fired.
We've already been fired, and we already finished.
Excessive murder?
Yeah.
Excessive? I think.
What are they gonna do? Double fire you?
Exactly. You can't fire me. I quit.
I hire you just to fire you. Geometry that gives you a superhuman ability to pass the ACT. Oh god. I've been prepping people for ACT tests for like years now, but alas, I cover the English sections. Can't help you there.
Yeah, let me open the damn thing.
It's Bicycle Repairman. I love that sketch. That had me in stitches when I was a kid.
Repairman, man.
Repairman? But how?
My
Look
favorite
over
Monty,
there. Oof.
my favorite Monty Python sketch will always be the Ministry of Silly Walks.
All right,
That
I'm
is a
gonna
good
poison. I'm gonna poison this place with the emetic rat poison.
Oh no. Double excessive murder?
Hello.
Which
that
is
a
why I always love
crowbar
it when
over
Lewis-
there?
There's no murder too excessive for us.
Yeah,
Which is
I'm
why I
called
always love it when
Hitman,
Lewis-
not like almost Hitman.
I mean, the game is about hitting men, you know.
Oh my God! Look over there. Did you see it?
That guy didn't.
Oh,
Put it on
jeez.
the back.
That's a lot of poison.
It's not easy being green.
So okay, I could use that to I could put in the animation to knock everyone out or clear the room. Gotcha. That's how I could do that. Nice. That's actually pretty cool.
It is clever.
But I don't have to. God bless it. Where's the goddamn frickin' big? Yo, do you have a red security card?
Yeah, you, sir, you look like somebody who carries a security card. Bam!
And also, yeah, to Damon Pollitt. Yeah, there are a lot of X-Men with weird powers. Like, one of my favorite X-Men characters is Douglas Ramsey. Well, before X-Men Green happened.
Is that Gordon Ramsay's brother?
No, he's the mutant known as Cypher. His mutant power is he can understand any language.
It's an amazing power. That's one
Gordon
of those things I
Ramsay's
wish I had in,
power
like,
is that he
D&D.
can.
Okay, I
can
keep
swear.
forgetting that you're supposed to get the security card from the IT office, because why would you just keep that here? I mean, I suppose it makes sense to a degree, but you'd think the security people would have the security things.
Look at that sci-fi
Yeah.
computer screen.
Logic, it's a wonderful thing.
Also, X-Men Green is the most frustrating thing in the world to me.
X-Men Green sucks.
X-Men Green is just.
Yes, but here's the thing. I'm a person who talks about X-Men.
We got a good title now. I'm so fired from Hanumara.
Yeah.
You can't fire me.
Oh,
You're-
I'm fired. I'm fired.
Yeah,
You
I'm
can't
More
fired.
friendly organization,
I'm
we'll
fired.
call this episode, I think.
X-Men Green. Oh god, I hate X-Men Green.
Wow, that guy wasn't even looking.
He was watching TV.
What happened?
Of
You're not
course you
paying
were.
attention.
Wall.
Well, of course you forgot about Forget Me Not. That's his power.
Now then, we got the key card to open up. No, God bless it! Is it the security card for this one? Do I have a crowbar? Can I open it with a crowbar now?
I always love seeing you try to figure out where you went wrong as you're just murdering everyone. Where's that damn Chaos Emerald?
You mean the Chaos Emeralds? You are talking about the Chaos Emerald. I have one of them right here.
Where's that
I missed
damn
something.
chaos?
Security thing somewhere here.
I love
know
that
we
one.
used
I
unlock
forget which
something.
track it was. It might have been like Egg Pyramid or something, but like one of the levels in Sonic Adventure 2, but only on Dreamcast because I think GameCube censored it, where it's like a conversation. It's like, you're damn right, Knuckles. That just freaking killed me.
Server room. I can do something with that. I can work with this. See what
You mean the poison? The poison specifically designed for Cusco. Cusco's poison.
Turn off the local network.
That poison.
Let's see. Disable the security lock. There we go. That's the vault security. I can get in that way.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, I actually enabled it again. 1 second. My bad. Let me do that again. And just oops. And yeah, that should do it.
And the money's mine. Bye.
When I eventually get to Nature Girl for X-Men Decoded, I am going to be very frustrated when I get to the point where I have to talk about X-Men Green.
See, there we go. All I needed to do was use the crowbar after I'd already disabled. It's probably like a magnetic lock or something like that.
Oh.
Ooh, cool animation of the vault opening. Out of my way.
Man, this is a great Fallout game, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh dear!
Wouldn't it be
Look at
great
all
you
these
go in
security
with a bunch of
lasers!
vault blowers?
I'm so concerned! Oh no!
You fool, now the security's gonna be here.
Security, I thought we killed them all.
I don't know what you're talking about. The security's gonna be here.
Oh no, guys! Security's gonna come down and get me!
Wouldn't that have been great, though, if there were just a bunch of vault dwellers in there, like, out of nowhere?
Yeah.
It's like,
Open
oh
the
my
door.
god.
Oh my god, this is Vault 101!
Yeah. Is it the 2000s already? Or the 2010s already?
I thought it was the 2200s.
Well, I'm talking about Hitman. They just woke up and it's wrong. Everything's wrong.
Propano saves the day again! And with a
Saves the
minimum
cash,
of
baby.
casualties!
They probably grow more guards in vats. Oh god.
It was accidental kills. Accidental.
That was a lot of
Only
accidents.
Breath of bad air. Discover Milton
Whoops, my
Fitzpatrick
finger
behind
slipped. Whoops,
closed
my finger
doors.
slipped.
Beautiful.
What was
Beautiful,
that?
100% successful run. No one saw me.
What was that vault that had basically the where all they did was just clone this one guy?
Oh yeah, Greg, wasn't it?
Gary!
Gary, excuse me.
What number was the Gary vault?
I don't know. In hindsight, we should have applied for
Kevin
that.
93, in hindsight, we should have applied for McDonald's.
No, you shouldn't. I've worked at
They
McDonald's.
also don't like
Terrible.
your sweater, and it's just as
Yes.
I've worked at McDonald's. It's not very better.
If they had just let me wear my sweater, none of this would have happened. Anyway, with
The
that,
best
we're calling
time
it
to
a
wear
night.
Striped sweater.
We're calling it a night. I got work to do on the Hellblazer review. I got work to do on History of Power Rangers. I want to thank my wonderful guests, Lotus Prince,
Thank you very much. You're welcome.
Eliza,
Always a pleasure being here.
and of course Zen.
Thank you very much for having me. I got to record some more Arcane after this, but just, in case you want to talk about Sonic, I have a bunch of videos there that are not being promoted, so please check out my Sonic stuff.
All right,
Also,
Go ahead.
Also, check out my uploads that'll be happening later. I have one for my new World of Eras tabletop role-playing game, which will be going up sometime tonight. I have it right now uploading on YouTube, but I have no idea how long it's going to take. It's a 4.5-hour long video.
Ooh.
And I guess I'll say on that subject, I'm currently uploading The Quarry on my channel, and I'll be streaming System Shock 1
Nice.
on Monday at 10 Eastern.
And I'll also be
Ooh, nice.
streaming Kingdom Hearts 1 tomorrow.
And I'll be working on Sonic CD.
I'll be working on Atop the Fourth Wall and History of Power Rangers. Thank you all for joining me. And remember, Banks are too big to fail. And tomorrow, good luck getting a letter recommendation after this. Like I said, going independent. Have a good night, everybody.